Howdy, folks, and welcome to Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I'm Joe, the Dungeon Master for the evening, and joining me, as always, are Matt, Miles, Allie, and Tina. We play a original 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons game every Friday at 8:30 p.m., but I'm going to do a couple of announcements first, and then we'll get right into the game, because it's going to be a really interesting session. I'm actually super excited for this. And for those of you who do pay attention to some of the social media stuff, I think last session was probably my favorite session ever in like the entirety of what we've done, which is like roughly 300 hours of D&D. So pretty pleased about that. But I think this is going to be just as good, if not better. So a couple of things really quick first. We have the website, of course, alberonrpg.com. We are now in the third iteration of how we are presenting lore, because there are many barriers, and also I don't really know how to build a website. So the new way that lore is being presented, if you go to alberonrpg.com/lore, every week after the session, I'll be posting something that has to do with the session that just happened. There will be lore tied into it. There will also be playable content every week. So we're going to change the way that we have the homebrew content listed and that kind of stuff also. But for right now, just know every week there's going to be some stuff that you see on the show available for you, ideally the next day, possibly by Sunday. We'll see. Currently up there right now, there is a lore article on Gerard's Azers, the Azer rework that we have for Alberon's universe. It's a little bit different than the D&D strictly canonical Azers. But the stat block for the Cold Touch Perfect Azer is there, along with a little bit of information, mostly what the Finger Gang has already figured out. But there is some new stuff there as well. Additionally, the story so far has been updated slightly. I'm gonna get you guys caught up to tomorrow. So it will be entirely the entirety of our campaign summed up in a medium length write-up, we'll say. It's getting lengthy, but broken up into each individual arc. We're currently on the Kindscale arc, but that will be updated tomorrow. And then we also have a really good streak of playing games in a row going. But in October, I believe it's like the second week, it's October 9th, we're going to be taking a week off of the main campaign because Allie and Miles will be unavailable. And Tina, Matt, and probably at least one guest will be joining us for a very special one-shot set in the backstory of Shae. This will be titled The Frostline. I'm currently writing it. It's canonic to the current campaign. It's set in 1463 Third Age, which is about 7 years back in the past from where we are now. If I have my timeline correct, which I'm pretty sure I do. Shae, you'll be like 16 years old. It will be following Shae along with another small troop that first brought her to the Frostline, an area of the forest to the south of Squall's End that intermingles with the Feywild itself. So that's going to be super fun. And then additionally, October 30th, we are going to be running another original one-shot for Halloween. That's going to be called Dark Oath, The Lunar Curse. This is planned on being perhaps an ongoing adventure for future times, maybe Halloween or times that it makes sense. A much more Monster Hunter-y feel, a little darker. The Lunar Curse probably hints a little bit at what might be involved. But that is going to be October 30th. And then also we have some really great art that is coming from Sophie Bischoff, which is going to be Heinrich themed. It's super exciting. I believe it should probably be up on our Instagram sometime this week, perhaps next week. But it's really, really cool. Speaking of Sophie, for all of the art that we do on our website, there is actually a community tab. And if you ever want to know a little bit more about those artists, or perhaps seek out some work for yourself, because they have done obviously such a great job, you can go and check out their information, which is linked there. Art is work, and the people who have done the art for us are super cool and have really done some, I mean, you see the beginning screen, super cool. During the break, it also plays. There's art from everybody from Sophie Bischoff to Talon's daughter, who did some amazing Fey Pig renditions for us, which makes me super happy in my heart. And then finally, we use Sirenscape for music and sound. I know sometimes it can go, we have to adjust it on the fly. And the way that we stream this campaign right now, as we were doing it in a socially distant manner, It's very complex. Tina has put together somehow an entire library's worth of information on making this work. So thank you, Tina, also. I don't say that nearly enough. Tina puts in a lot of work to make this happen the way it does. And with that is all the announcements we have for this week. So we can jump into our recap. Let's switch the mood here just a little. Finger Gang, last time that we played, you opened a vault within Gerard's personal apartments and found a tremendous wealth of gold, platinum, rare commodities, and a few magical items. Morwen, I think you obtained a magical rapier of some sort. Heinrich, a wooden token, and perhaps another item I can't actually quite recall. Your group went back to the testing chamber, which you had destroyed the Azers in. Using the delicate approach of having your Aarakocra ally fly Guntir up to the ceiling and having him shape stone and then puncture his way into the ceiling 120 feet above, you actually managed, with some effort, to break into the Golden Terrace, itself a part of the Gold Glow estate, home of the ruling clan of Kol Taram. And Kindscale, the purple terror, the dragon of the deep, who terrorizes the entirety of the north, holding it within this aura of dread that seems to emanate from her. You observed a strange Fey woman moving about the terrace, but no signs of others. You explored, collecting delicious golden apples along the way, with all of you, I believe, except for Heinrich, enjoying the treat. You saw the Fey flee from a room ahead, and so, in typical Finger Gang fashion, you immediately advanced. The room that you came upon was grand. Dress forms with glorious fabrics and gaudy embellishments, statues, a small library. But just by a bit, and only by the grace of a broken necklace and a single bead that fell off, you caught the Ninth Path monks as they attempted to flee. A fierce battle ensued. However, as a group, you managed to take them down without too much of an issue. And as she lay entombed in stone, Shae, you questioned the traitor and discovered that the Ninth Path had built some other form of gate at the Giant's Step. She told you Aira, not Hylan, was on the wrong side of history, and that Aira had brainwashed her own father, Juruxa, but that the pair were just as dangerous as any dragon, perhaps greater still even than Kindscale herself. And Guntir, you cast Gesh. Gesh. Gesh?
Gesh.
Gesh. Which I have been pronouncing Gios for a very long time.
Forever.
Yeah.
Gios.
And asked her to scout on her allies, gather information. And as the spell took hold, you could see in her eyes her willpower break, your command becoming a reality. You hastily added a final touch to sabotage those at the Giant's Step. And at that, she resisted. The spell liquefied her brain from the inside with massive psychic trauma. And the one link you had to relay a message to Hylan lay dead in front of you. Guntir, you were on the right of Shae. Heinrich, you were directly behind her. Morwen, you were about 20 feet away. Helia stands off a ways, perhaps 30 feet back. Shae, you can also feel Krodok at your shoulder opposite Heinrich. Finger Gang, what would you like to do?
Immediately turning to Guntir, what did you do? Don't give me that. What did you do?
I don't know. Trying to get him to do something.
Do what? Guntir, this is
You heard what I told him.
Did you say it out loud, or was it just in your head?
I think he said it out loud, but I think
He said it out loud.
Said it out
Yeah,
loud.
hastily
for sure.
involved in other things.
I was trying to intimidate her. I didn't know I'd give her a heart attack.
I don't think that was a heart attack, Guntir.
Well,
Oh my.
In truth, it's revealing as it is. We should move the bodies and leave this area.
yeah, I think we gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Helia, You over there somewhere? I can see her. She's in the same room.
You turn. And she is in the same room. She is set quite a ways back.
Yeah.
Not in. So you guys very technically right at the cusp of the hallway. She is back in the room. You can see the now bare dress forms. She kind of lurks by one. What are you saying to her?
Helia, let's go find your axe. And so we can just leave as quickly as possible. I think we just made a little too much noise and...
A little?
A lot of too much noise, and I know that there are other people here. We all know that. We all saw that woman go inside, and there's been no one around. We just need to...
All right, let's move.
Well,
Enough chatter.
You guys take care of the bodies, please. I'm gonna go help Helia.
Well, I want to make sure that is everything still? Has anyone?
Do we have time for the bodies?
Morwen, make a perception check.
I'm doing this in kind of a rushed manner, basically.
16.
We brought her here. We promised her.
Morwen, you listen. Kind of all of a sudden, the hairs in the back of your neck standing up in this dangerous place. But you don't hear anything.
Let's get moving.
Heinrich, you move towards Helia. You can see the hand tracing the wooden form. She turns and looks up at you and nods. Well, Heinrich, with me then. And she proceeds to the stairs. You follow her up, and you can see in front of you, as you get to the top, on the right-hand side, there are more books, a library almost. But there is a section that is open. You can see the actual bookcase swung in, a single book hanging out, brown, worn. But having grown up in the Kingdom of Sarentil, you would know that this is a copy of Summer's Cadence, almost universally recognized. This is the Herald in the Purple Crayon of Alberon. You can see from within there is a faint red glow. What would you like to do? You can see Helia hesitate for a moment, her hand on the edge of the door, and then enter in.
I'm gonna blink back on Detect Magic.
Okay. You put on Detect Magic. You would see ahead of you no real magic. Kind of like casting your gaze about, you look and kind of coming to the doorway proper. You can see suddenly you almost run into Helia. She's stopped. You can see the breath sort of held back, and it hits you that there's a weird smell. And as you turn and look past, you can see roughly 9 or 10 corpses. You see some in the garb of what you'd imagine are the Gold Glow guards. There is this sort of crown wearing this dented, damaged armor. You can see 2 who look like they may have been Kindscale soldiers. They have the purple dragon on the front. And interestingly, you can see a dragonborn. His skin, or his scales, green, slightly corroded. You can see wearing this heavy plate mail armor. On the armor, you can see there is this kind of a silvery chain, and attached to it, there is this purple sigil of Kindscale on gold. You see another individual, probably in his 80s, older human, dressed in simple black and white, probably a servant of some kind. Aside from that, you can also see there is this sort of, it's not a very large room. So these individuals stacked one on top of the other, but only about 10 feet deep, 5 feet wide. There are 3 shelves at the far end. On the top one sits empty. The middle one, you can see there's a stone shelf that's inserted. And the bottom one houses a wooden bust that seems to be missing the head. About its neck, even from here, you can actually see these 3 massive diamonds on a fine gold chain with a dozen smaller gems strung between. What would you like to do?
Well, looks like they got here before you, Helia. Sorry about that. And this is strictly for group purposes, and I walk over and I grab the diamonds and just put them into my bag.
You could see her eyes kind of fixated on that empty shelf. She nods absently.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It doesn't look like it's in here. There was something they were carrying that might. Well, when we get back, we can check it out. Do you want to see if you can find anything useful on any of the unfortunates over there?
Give me a minute and I'll see if I can. And she gets down and begins rifling through pockets.
She's probably better at this than I am.
You would think.
Well, actually, maybe not. I don't know. So do I get the diamonds? Is that fine, or is
yes?
there a
So
trick
you
to
may
it?
add the tear strand to your inventory. This is
Name.
3 massive, beautifully cut and worked gems, and about a dozen other smaller diamonds strung in between. And holding it out, you can see why it's called the tear strand. They look like tears dropping down. Helia, after very, very quick, this is she also kind of senses this need for urgency. She pulls up 12 gold, 11 silver, and 1 piece of copper. With her roll, she would also find, kind of going through this elderly gentleman's pockets, she pulls out a small iron key. Very, very simple. But she returns and kind of handful of coin and key, picks the key out from the pile. This is for you, I think. And she drops it in her hand.
I'll
Pockets
keep
the
it.
rest.
So, simple iron key. Is that what it said?
Yep, simple iron key.
Okay.
Small.
Shoot. Don't have time to tell them I'm sorry they met their end here, but also I don't know where their allegiances lay. A few of them I do, and that's too bad. Rest easy, and then see you later. And I'll kind of head back down. And I'm heading right for the bag of holding that they had on them.
Sure.
Whoever has
So
it.
you head right back down, and with detect magic still up, you actually would see as you come by, first of all, the magic of this bag of holding already kind of exuding the enchantment that it has. But within, I don't think that it would go into the bag itself.
It's 30 feet only.
It is, but it's an extra dimensional space, so
Yeah,
I'm
no,
guessing
it's
probably it wouldn't puncture through.
No.
But the bag itself does emit a glow.
Well,
So,
and that's downstairs with everyone else, right?
yep. So you've returned to everybody else at this point. What are the rest of you guys doing? They're only gone for about 5 minutes.
I feel like I would have tried to find an escape route / exit strategy because, like, there's probably a dragon right around.
Make a perception check.
Like, dragon's probably right up on us. That's a 17.
Okay. You go up to the door past these dress forms that you've now stripped of all of their belongings. And you would see down this kind of hallway, you're at the L turn of a hallway. This seems to extend another like 20 feet that you have not traveled down. This is the direction in which that Fey woman ran. You can hear trickling water coming from that direction. You can see that at the very end of the hallway, it seems to open up into a larger room. You see what looks like maybe a piano in that room as well. In total, that you see that, and then you would see one other door. This door is shut on the left-hand side of that hallway. Looking back the way that you came, you can actually see this artificial daylight that is coming down across the entirety of the Ring of Gold. But you see the golden terrace out that you had come from previously.
Okay, like through the little orchard.
Yes.
Okay.
What was your perception check?
17.
17? I would say with that score. And hard to tell what it is because, again, there is this kind of artificial light. But for just a moment, you see a shadow.
Up above, something just like
passing, or possibly just passing through. It could be, it almost looks like when a bird goes by a window.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, something's coming. We better be more fast than we are right now. And I'm
And
gonna
even
start,
as you say this, you're kind of looking and you don't see it again.
I'm gonna start shuffling towards the. It's like the closed door on the left, and then further down the hall in that same general direction is the other area that's unexplored.
Correct. That's away from the terrace.
So, okay, I'm gonna go to the door first and check that out.
Sure.
I'm not gonna open it yet, but I'm gonna check that it's unlocked and not trapped and stuff before I open it.
So you kind of scuffle over there. Shae, what are you doing?
Recognizing that we need to move a little faster, just mentally saying a quick word over the dead. And how many other doors are in this space?
In this room, or kind of okay, so in this room you don't see any other doors. You have not gone upstairs, so you haven't seen the vault that Heinrich and Helia have gone through. You actually would just see right now Heinrich returned, Helia trailing a good 45 feet behind, but now catching up. You look around, you don't see any doors within that space. You can see Guntir shuffling towards a closed door, kind of a reddish wood with the sort of brass trim around the inset squares that represent the top and the bottom. And then you kind of look the other direction down the hall from whence you came.
Mhm.
There is a room that you passed that you did not go through, but then there's a terrace beyond. Make a perception check.
That's a 23.
23. For a moment, you hear something. Could be wind. It's the movement of air. But it doesn't sound gentle like wind. And it doesn't sound harsh like a tempest or a hurricane. You listen. You don't hear it again.
From which direction?
The terrace.
I guess I want to move in the opposite direction of the terrace then.
Begin to follow in the direction of Guntir. Morwen, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm following the crowd too.
Okay, so
I'm
you
not
go with the
sticking
group.
around.
Helia kind of drifts in that direction. Krodok follows you, Shae. Heinrich, are you going with them? It seems like they're all moving towards this door.
Yeah, I think it would be wise to get inside,
Okay.
at least for a bit. Who has the bag, or was it just on the ground?
I believe
I
Guntir
have
has
the
the bag
bag of
holding.
hold,
Guntir's bag.
the bag of holding that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that and a couple other things.
Guntir,
Okay.
Less
you
important.
reach the door. Your hand closes around the brass knob, and you turn it. Swings free. It's not locked.
Okay, I'm gonna carefully peek in.
You hear this old wooden door, and worth noting, I mean, throughout Kulturam, you haven't seen a lot of wood. The floor and part of this has been wood. The loft has been wood. Even these dress forms, wood. Wood is a hard thing to come by underground in a mountain, but they have plenty of it. And as you open this wooden door, the room that you see before you, again, fairly short, no more than 12 feet long, narrow, but tall. And Guntir, you actually see rows upon rows upon rows of hats suspended from various hooks. Some beautiful and ornate, some fairly simple. You can see top hats. This is a room entirely dedicated to the storage of hats. There is a counter,
like a
and you can see
haberdashery.
within it. It is actually called the haberdashery. You can actually see behind the counter. There is this. It's like a hand. What is it called? It's got like a little needlework thing, and it actually just says the
felting
haberdashery.
table?
Yeah,
Oh.
not a felting table. It actually is one of those, where it says like home is where the heart is, and it's been like
Cross
stitched.
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Cross stitch. Yes,
Cross-stitch.
it is cross stitched in Dwarvish, and it says the haberdashery.
Oh.
You can see there is a doorway on the right side, or the right wall, and a very, very small room through it. And you can see a variety of sewing supplies. You see a large table with cloth spread out, and it seems to be a place actually designed for making of hats. You'd imagine that Lady Goldglow probably had this person on retainer to create these for her. But there's a wide array. I mean, pretty much anything you could imagine in terms of headwear, you can see.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna kind of mumble. That's some kind of haberdashery. And there's just the one door that I can see, like, in the building or in the room.
Yeah, and you can actually see most of the room beyond. The only wall that you can't see is the one up against the hallway. So you imagine that's all that there probably is.
Okay, I'm gonna close the door, be like, that's just a hat shop, and go down the hall.
Okay.
It's in that same area.
Everybody else following? Okay.
I am.
So
Did we not? So did you say that the woman went into that door or a different door, like at the entrance to the
Sound of
the
water?
place? No, like where the woman went before. That's
She
like,
went in the direction that you guys are currently going.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Yeah. So then I will follow.
Okay. You continue following Guntir. You see he opens the door, shuts the door, continues down the hallway. And as you approach, the sound of water does grow a little bit louder. It's a faint trickle. But you enter into a room. It's long. The ceiling's large and vaulted, these large ovals that seem to kind of form waves into each other. This has been designed for acoustics. As you step in, you suddenly become aware of your footsteps loud on the tile floor. This has a full-sized piano at the very front. You can see actually what look like they're stained glass set up against maybe silver or some kind of mirroring in the back to give the illusion of a window. Very obviously not, but at a quick glance, you would actually almost mistake this for a window to the outside. There is something lighting it from behind. You see these beautiful chairs, cream-colored, stuffed, well-padded with these golden tassels that come down at the end, a dark wood that leads to curved feet. This is an elegant room. You can see paintings here and there on the wall. There is one other door, and through it, you can see this Gunter, you would actually see this rock garden. It's this huge room that seems to be like in the center, a large boulder almost, and across it you can see all kinds of growing vegetation. You see little beets growing here and there. You can see other root vegetables, and water just faintly trickling out of crevices and down into a pool at its base, which you would imagine probably you actually would see the small, almost like a box, and it seems to be emitting a faint hum. But this is almost like a fountain and a garden. You don't see this woman, this creature.
And there's no other door through to like continue an exit route.
Looking around, make a perception check. Are you entering the room?
I think I'm entering the concert hall room, making my way through it to the other side towards the garden area.
Okay.
But not necessarily going into the garden area yet, because I'm checking out this room first.
Sure.
That's 21.
21. You walk through, and as you do, you can see here and there other reminders of the opulence of this place. There are little cartons here and there. Actually, they're wood, and you can see they hold cigarettes. The tips of them are probably actual gold. You can see the paper, whatever has been wrapped around it, is almost black. This very, very dark brown. You can see off to the right of the piano, there is this beautiful, bright red wood that is almost like a little liquor cabinet. You can see the top glass doors that hold some fairly shallow shelves. But as you pass all these things towards this rock garden, you see this gargantuan stone. And it takes up a lot. This is a large room. This is probably maybe 65 feet long. And there's only maybe 10 feet of walkway around. The center is, depending on where you go, 2 to 12 feet high stacks of this light brown stone that's covered in cascading vine-like plants. You see, getting a little closer, beets, carrots, tomatoes, radish, of a variety of colors. Purples, reds, blue, or yellows that shine out from this dark rock and the green vegetation around it. The water is gently trickling. You can see it flows into the rock itself. And you can see actually there are dwarvish runes on that box that's kind of humming faintly. And in dwarvish it reads, Stoneflow Hydro Holler. which is essentially a magical water pump.
Hmm.
You would know it comes from one of the only other dwarven citadels still in existence, Stoneflow. Very,
Stoneflow.
very mysterious. Not a lot known, not a lot of people out in.
Hmm.
But supposedly the technological wonder of
I
Alberon,
saw the
not just
ship
Dominion.
there. A ship that from way back.
Yeah, you saw the Krogamash, yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna like make sure everyone is still here, but trying to be quick about this.
Okay. You glance here and there, you see Heinrich, and I mean, you turn around, you see the entire group behind you. You can see just kind of clustered and looking. Unless anybody else is doing anything within this, you called it what, the concert hall?
Yeah, it's like a concert hall.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
I'll be heading
what
towards the back.
what's the plan? We better be fast.
Well, if someone came in here, she's not here, that means she went somewhere else, and maybe that's a good place to go if we're trying to stay away from the outside. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're doing either, but if there's a way
Well,
out,
I
it seems to
mean,
be
we
a good
just got
way.
into a pretty big tussle, and I get the sense that there's a dragon encroaching upon us.
Well, right. So further in
In
is
fact, I think
probably
at this
safer.
point we should just assume that they already know we're here. And so, in this type of situation, generally I would start thinking about how to get out. But I don't know. We have unfinished business here. What are we doing?
For once, Guntir, I fear you may be overlooking some treasure.
Well,
Well,
that's
I mean,
unexpected.
It's the first time for
What?
everything.
I'm going to
I'm
the
gonna
rock
look
garden.
around. Is there anything noticeably treasure-like in here besides the vegetables? Because
Make an investigation check.
that is a 3.
Okay. You cast your ancient eyes about this place, and though you see many a stone and many a vegetable, you see few treasures.
Well, do you know where it is then? Because, again, dragon.
That would make it too easy.
Joe, can you
Of course it
describe the window again?
Sure. You look at this beautiful kind of arched tri-paneled stained glass window, and looking at it, you can, when you turn, it's almost as if you look past a window with trees and a roaming hillside behind. You can see almost moving when you turn these clouds, but when you look at them, just these beautiful bits of kind of foggy looking glass that have been positioned in such a way to look like they move when the light passes over them. It is beautiful, and it gives this illusion. It definitely casts. It's certainly magical because it has light coming from within it. And Morwen, you actually remember a fairly similar kind of thing back at Captain's Keep, within Cord's Temple. This large stained glass window, similar enchantment that cast magic from it.
Okay, so it's lit up by like actually like enchanting the glass. To light
Yeah,
up?
so in this room, because this room is the room that the vegetables are growing in, there is daylight from the ceiling. You can see
Mhm.
magically enchanted to create this effect. Within this room, there's light spilling in from that corridor, and then there is this beautiful, it almost looks like if you were to look at the walls around you, like there's a Christmas tree in the middle. You can see little speckles of beautiful green and blue and red light across the entirety of the space. You would imagine, perhaps not a concert hall. It is small and intimate in that sofas and overstuffed chairs, no wooden rows, but it is a beautiful place. And you can imagine listening to music here would be a wonderful experience.
And there's a piano, correct?
There is.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm gonna
Don't you dare.
I'm gonna go over to the piano.
Okay.
You walk over to this piano, you can see in front of you, it is perfectly white. And so the glossy coating of it does reflect all these beautiful motes of light. going up, the piano keys are all exposed. You can see it seems to be a piano.
Not dusty.
No, nothing here is dusty.
I touch a key.
Ding!
I play a key.
And it plays.
I push down on a key.
And as you do, this beautiful note, true and clear, rings through the air. You hear the water almost kind of fade away because the acoustics of this place are beautiful. It seems to almost capture and focus the sound into the room itself. It is louder than you intended. Make a performance check, Morwen.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn around and be like, "What was that?
That is a 24.
Okay. It's louder than you intended, but you had intended it to be so quiet in the first place that it seems to be almost a normal note. It doesn't ricochet across the hallways and these large dome spaces. It just pleasantly drifts through this room.
Guys,
Perhaps.
the piano works.
I'm just glare at you angrily from the entrance to the rock garden.
Stop it! No, don't! No.
Play hot crust buns.
Do you?
I
No.
don't. I want to though.
I suggest
I
we
tell you,
find
I want to play hot cross buns.
somewhere
Can someone
secluded.
go and pull her away from it? I want to check out this rock garden. I want to
Okay.
kind of trace the place and sort
Make
of
an
look for
investigation check.
Anything unusual? Any potential rock out of place or rock that may be lifted
Sure,
or
yeah.
whatever? And I'll be using detect magic to aid in this process.
Okay.
Investigation 20, dirty 20.
Okay. So, Heinrich, a couple things. First of all, with the tech magic up, you can see there is faint magic coming from that like small box that seems to be humming, and you would imagine that's what's cycling the water in this place. There's magic coming from above where this daylight is being cast from. And it's hard to sort of make out differences between the two. They almost merge. This is, magically speaking, a very bright room. There's a weird spot in it that seems almost kind of dark or muted. And your eyes are kind of drawn to that. And so you walk over, you trace your hand along the stone and the vines, real vines. You know, you kind of hold up one of these radishes. It's real and growing in your hand. But as you kind of cast your hand across, you touch skin, and suddenly in front of you the stone shifts and there is this fey woman pressed up against the stone. You can see in her tangled hair there is this there are like all these autumn colored leaves just matted in, but also the water kind of darkening part of it as it runs down her shoulder. She is pressed up
Same
against
woman.
it and scared looking. Yes, this is the same
Yeah.
woman. And actually, for visual reference,
Mhm.
let me go ahead and post that in general for you. Have a picture of her. There are elements of her that do look almost feline in certain ways. You can see she has these very elven ears. They are even more so than the elves that you've seen. They go out and are long behind her. You can see very, very kind of pointed chin. She wears this scarf that begins as this beautiful sort of what's the word that I'm looking for? Almost metallic kind of cloth, this gossamer cloth that then transitions into like a splash of falling leaves as the scarf itself. There's a single golden leaf as the brooch. Let me remember how to share things.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm going to post that in general for us in just a sec. But you can see she is pressed against this. She is not breathing. You can see this is this moment of panic for her. You can see it in these large golden eyes. What are you doing?
I'm gonna back off and be like, I'm sorry. Are you okay?
You can see she sort of looks at you, the eyes darting from one person to the other in the room, and suddenly you've noticed that this individual kind of growing almost a little bit more blue of skin. You can see she has this beautiful sort of tanned almost unnaturally so skin. But you can see that there was a slight blue cast, and all of a sudden, and she looks kind of over, and specifically, you can see her eyes kind of fall on Morwen, Guntir, but then kind of focus back on you. You are not with her.
With who? The one with the other big bulky men guys who probably just killed your friends, I'm guessing?
You can see she.
I don't know how to describe.
She
if
pushes
I
herself
could, I would
away.
have described her, but
Okay, you can push. She pushes herself away from. Make an intelligence check.
yeah. Hey, natural 20.
Great. You describe just sort of fey creatures and being unsure of exactly the nature of this individual. You word it in such a way that is not culturally offensive. Good job, Finger Gang.
Yay! I'm trying.
But she separates herself from the water. You can actually hear the leaves pull away. The water trickle kind of continues in that spot. She pulls the scarf and kind of water flecks off of it and a little bit hits you. She says,
I mean, I'm positioning myself non-threateningly, backing up, giving her space, and like kind of,
yeah,
it was I was just as surprised as she was, kind of thing.
She's about 5 feet tall, so backing up is good because she's very, very small. But she looks back and forth. I was brought here. I work in the gardens. I am Evriatami. What are you doing here if you are not with her?
I think.
And you can see now she's kind of like anxiously pulling these leaves out from her hair, and you can see they break and crumble. These are like the good crispy fall leaves.
Okay.
But even as they break and kind of fall to the ground, you can see they kind of break into almost microscopic pieces. And in her hair, it's almost as if they keep reforming. But it's this nervous habit, and so it's almost this continuous stream of broken leaves.
My name is Heinrich, and my friends and I think fate brought our paths to cross. At least us and that other woman and her friends that you were
Which other woman?
You were saying the other woman, the one that we were describing, the one that I was describing, the monk lady, right? That's what we were doing.
I did not see her in particular, but there are bodies. There are many dead. I do not know how.
That is a lot to unload. How are you safe here right now? Or rather, are you safe here right now? Do you know the ways around this place? Could we get somewhere safer? We're not welcome in the eyes of the dragon that you surely must know. Rules over
noticed
this area.
this elf yet?
Huh?
Have we noticed this elf yet?
I would imagine, yeah, probably. Heinrich's having a full-on conversation. Yeah, and Heinrich is, well, you wouldn't see that because Heinrich is probably about 40 feet away from all of you and around the other side of this stone, but you definitely hear the voices. For sure you hear the voices. They carry that.
I think after getting Morwen and hearing that, probably want to go check out what Heinrich
so those of you who want to, you can kind of approach. But Heinrich, you can see she sort of nods and says, I do know this house very well. I've been kept here, but there is no safe place. She must know that you are here. And you can see at this, Helia kind of shakes her head and she says, I don't think you quite understand who you're talking to. This is the fucking Finger Gang. And you can see
I would put my hand in front of Helia and be like, oh, hey, hold on, calm it down.
I flip her off and be like, hell yeah, we are.
What's going on? What?
And you can see Avery sort of nods and says, You could be as stealthy as a shadow or as a night, but Kindscale will know that you are here. Have you not had the nightmares? Have you not felt her?
My friends have. Yeah.
I was just saying that we should get moving because I feel like there's an encroaching dragon. And then I'm not the one who just played piano.
If you have not already attracted her attention, then there is a chance.
Oh, we have.
Then
There's no chance, but no. Would you come with us if you were the people who you were kept by? I'm assuming are all the ones dead in the other room.
no,
Do you wish to leave?
Of course, but I cannot leave the premises. And she sort of pulls, and you can see this gossamer cloth that attaches to the leaf portion. There is, underneath this golden sort of clasp, there are runes, arcane runes, that make an arcana check.
Okie dokie. Ooh, no, sorry. Oh shit, 19.
Especially with the tech magic up, there is this
Yeah.
evocation school of magic that radiates this angry red from it. But you get the sense that this is
Battle Royale.
yes, very much battle royale.
Shit.
But if I can, I will help.
Guntir, are you cramping up too much, or do you think you could lend us one last little assistance here?
What do you want me to do?
If
The
what I was
collar, you
going
gotta
to
get
say-
the collar off her.
well, if
what do
we
you-
were going
Go ahead,
to
yeah.
not, if we have or you have somehow not attracted attention,
Oh, we have.
but I do not hear her coming. I do not hear them coming. And today
Wow.
is a very important day. So there are not many about. Maybe.
What's today?
Where are you all from?
Not
Or so.
Around. It's
Or-
we're all kind of,
Yes.
leaves on the wind, gathered into a pile in the dirt
Picking up some
now
trash.
here. it's a whole to do. Just what's going on here? What?
Well, today is the invasion. The gate is
What?
finished. It will open very soon.
What gate? What invasion? What?
How have you all come to this place? It is dangerous.
I just
It
told
is-
you, leaves on the wind, dirt, and piles. Now we're here.
But you have
The
no
easiest
involvement.
way to
in
explain
this.
it. The easiest way to explain it is we came up through the mountain, not through the city. That's the easiest way to explain it.
Sure.
It again makes no sense to me, but
That's okay.
for whatever brought you here, Kind Scale has a notion that there is a way to unlock a greater power and increase the radius of her abilities.
Sure,
Well, that's
sure.
not good.
As any
She-
power-hungry large creature probably would. You mentioned this gate. Do you know where it may lead to?
It is important that you understand it is not power that she seeks. She eats the nightmares of people. She seeks to feed, and she is very hungry. The gate, it leads
Yes.
to the halls of Dharma. I do not know what this is.
Can this place?
Now this is the same gate that they're talking about with the.
That's right. I was hoping
the-
that she
the
may have
nightmares.
more details on it.
For all of their imposing and combat prowess, the nightmares, they do talk. And they say this is a place for monks, for meditation, and Kindscale believes there is a pillar of some kind.
Okay, thoughts. Okay,
But
okay.
as I said,
First
this
and
is the
foremost,
day
let's
of
get
the...
this off of you.
Please, if you can, but be
Guntir, do
careful.
you think you could be so kind?
Alright, let me see what I can do. I'm gonna grab it and try to just force it open while also casting Dispel Magic.
Okay, so as you
Thank
begin
goodness.
pulling
Thank
it,
goodness.
you can hear her just go, "Oh no, no, no!" And then, so what level are you casting Dispel Magic at?
Base level 3.
3. Okay, so roll.
Right. Oh wait. You need to roll an ability check. Oh no.
Nope.
I need to
You do.
roll the ability check.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been running D&D for 11 years.
Okay. That's 24?
Oh goodness.
Okay.
Goodness. Thank
You
goodness.
reach around and Gunter, you can see she goes, "Oh no, no, no!" And it breaks. Little bits of metal and these tiny gears and springs just shower across the place, ting, 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 across the stone floor. You can see a couple of them go into the fountain, and you can see her eyes shut, the fey ears kind of going upright in fear, and then nothing happens.
I don't know
You
what
can
the
see she
big deal
stops.
was.
Thank you, Guntir.
Oh my god! And she runs up Guntir, and she just jumps up, and she's about as tall as you are, maybe just a little bit shorter, but she jumps and embraces you.
Yeah, don't mention it.
You can
Go
see
and
just
leave
again and
now.
again. She
Just
plants
walking
like
around and she's like
it's just
koala bearing on
it's
you.
again and again. She's just thank you, just kissing the top of your head through this like platinum hair that has streaks of char in it now.
Push her off and be like, all right, you know what you can do to thank me is get us the heck out of here.
Gladly, but we need to go through the terrace to do so. There are ways out of here. If we could find proper grass, I could perhaps get us out through uncomfortable means. For you, I will be fine.
Didn't we pop out of a hole around like gardening stuff and
Yeah.
potentially grass?
On the
So you're
terrace, there
telling
was
me
grass
we've
and
gotta
stretched
go
out across the vines and under the trees.
Back
I
to the
got
terrace.
just the place. But watch out for the hole. I'll point it out.
All right. So
You're
can we
in-
leave?
Yes, but we are in the north wing. There are 3. This is more for collecting of artifacts and valuable paintings and things that interest the lady. There is other wings to the house. There are exits there in the north wing, the service wing. There is a servant entrance there, and then in the south wing, through one of the parlors, there is a hidden exit.
All right. And so Shae, you said where's this treasure? You don't know. What is this treasure?
Can I do something while he's talking with her?
Sure.
Can I just grab the bag of holding while he's busy?
No
talking
way.
And not paying attention.
Trying to
Nick-
steal
I don't
my
think-
stuff.
He has a super high passive perception, so for sure.
That's fine.
You know what I'll say? Heinrich,
That's
make a
fine.
sleight of
Sleight of
hand
hand
check.
is
Make a
kind of
sleight
what I'm
of hand check.
going for.
Make
Yeah.
a sleight of hand check.
Gunter,
Darn.
to be
17.
able to say that,
Slap.
need to know what we even
Like
have.
Gunter. Gunter, this you. Let
I,
me
I,
just. Okay.
I was talking to Shae. You wait your turn. What were you saying, Shae?
More just you're carrying what we were here for.
The bag. What's in the bag?
Oh. Well, see, that's all you had to say. I'm gonna open up the bag of holding and start looking through, see what I've got.
Sure. So you reach in and you pull the first thing out.
Actually, I'm gonna like carefully pull it out because the last time I just reached into a bag and pulled something out, it was a,
It was
a
a
fierce.
panther.
Yeah,
It was a panther.
a
at
big
that
cat.
point, in fact, it was a weasel.
Not. The
Last-
first one
It was
was.
a panther.
First time it was
The
a panther.
first time was a large cat.
It was a very
On the
large cat,
boat.
even bigger than Morwen.
Yes.
The first thing that you pull out, Gunter, is this pale red metallic cylinder, and it just keeps coming. It's about 5 feet long, surprisingly light considering it's made of metal.
Is
Almost
this like-
lighter than it like aluminum would be, and you can actually see as you shift it around in the daylight of this garden room, there is a faint kind of almost holographic pattern to it. You would recognize as Zinyi. It is certainly a Zinyi reliquary. You see no seams, no locks, no hinges. It requires the attuning rod that is designated for it to be opened. Shae,
Is this it?
as your eyes come across this particular reliquary, you would imagine that either the maker or the breaker could easily fit within.
Wonderful.
Gunter, you kind of like set that aside, you reach in and you pull out, there are just books. You pull out a book on supernatural powers to the west. There's a book about ghosts of the gated marsh. There are the first 3 sets to an introduction to Elvish for the common man.
Ooh.
You
I can't
find
tell that's what it says.
you cannot, unfortunately. You need the first book to read the first book. It's a catch-22.
I happen to pick it up, but it's upside down. I'm like, I don't know that language.
Yeah, no way it's Elvish. But that is what you find. Otherwise, you
Alright.
reach in, the bag's empty.
That's a bunch of books. You want these, Heinrich? I'm gonna pass all the books to Heinrich. Keep the bag.
Sure,
late,
I'll pour
they're
over them
yours.
later on.
Okay.
See why they would have kept them, try to piece it together. Maybe it's old written clues spanning these books. I don't know.
So you can add supernatural powers of the West.
I'm gonna tuck the reliquary back in the bag.
Okay. The Gated
Yeah.
Marsh, Ghosts in the Night, and then volumes 1, 2, and 3 of An Introduction to Elvish for the Common Man.
Alright, so we have what we need, right? Can we go?
They still need keys. They need items to open this tower or this pillar.
But
They're not here,
it's
so where are
probably not here because
where are
they
they?
would have opened it, wouldn't they?
Not yet.
So we need to
Alright.
find a key.
We need
I
those
look over to
items.
Helia. I'm like, sorry, your axe isn't in there. What was this woman's name one more time? 'Cause
What is your
it sounds-
Heinrich? What is your wisdom score?
It's 12.
Okay.
No, wait, it's 14 now. I did all of my shit in wisdom.
Weirdly, Helia doesn't seem especially surprised by this.
But there's no axe in there.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't react and I mean, she's fairly loud and boisterous about things that she doesn't like. So, you know, doesn't seem to be terribly taken aback by it.
Yeah.
But
I have the two-pronged thing. First one, what is her name? The E lady.
do you want me to? You're asking her? Or are you asking me?
You, just because you've said
Avery
it already.
Avery Atomy, spelled Avereatome.
Ariadne.
Okay. Okay. Wow, I can't believe you're going to be doing that now. That's good. Yes, Avery Atomy. My name is Heinrich. Very nice to meet you.
You as well.
Glad to have helped thus far. Could you help us in turn? Are there any other libraries or books with other secret behinds that are similar to the one?
You're
over-
asking if there are secret rooms.
Well, housing other artifacts or other powerful artifacts like
Like a
this
key.
room was.
Most of my duties bring me to growing things. It is a talent that I have, but
Well, more simply, are there any other libraries in this whole place we could access? And I'm looking over at Helia, being like, maybe it's in a different one.
there are many rooms within the Goldglow estate. There is an entire bar that has been built on a replica street. There is almost a dozen bedrooms. There are the indoor grotto, but I do not believe there is another library.
Well, where do they keep the valuables?
Well, all throughout this wing, there is an art gallery. There is a
Is there an armory?
there is. It is in the service wing, and it is for the Gold Glow guards. There's adequate arms,
I
but
mean-
and she looks kind of across at all of you. I would imagine you would find nothing that is better than what you bring.
Oh,
Out of curiosity, she's an elf, right? What is she?
She looks.
Is her name Elvish?
Avery Atomy for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. Do I know what it means? Does it mean anything? Is it a
make an intelligence check. It certainly does.
What am I doing? Oh, 19.
Yeah, it translates roughly to Child of Autumn.
Makes
Sick.
sense.
I just wanted to know.
Sure, and you
Now
can
I
see,
do.
you know,
Thank you.
dark brown hair, these ever seemingly replenishing fall-colored leaves. Makes sense.
Well, look. I don't sense any malice in you, and I hope you trust us. So, do you know? Have you seen anyone wielding, carrying, moving a sort of imposing or powerful axe of any kind?
Oh,
That is
Or a
specifically
key.
why we ended up here.
well, like a large, there is.
Well, I don't know, Helia, how big is it?
Celia is kind of like looking around. She says, "Well, as far as I know, it's supposed to be wieldable by any of us, despite being made by larger folk.
Sure.
You can see every atomy kind of thinks about this. Nothing like that I can think of, but Grohl, he has a large axe, but he is very large.
Hmm. Hmm.
But you
And
will
he would
not...
probably be down by the gate, I would
Yes.
assume, at this point.
Yes.
And then I look over to Helia, being like, looks like you might be coming with us a little longer than you thought.
You can see Helia kind of considering, and she shrugs.
It's persuasion.
You don't need to persuade her. She just kind of shrugs.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so
I think we was there anything else? Any other reasons why we were up here? You keep
I
saying
think
key,
no.
Guntir. What key?
the key that Shae just said we need to get. I don't want anything. I want to get out of here.
Well, it wouldn't
Is
look
it
like
a
it wouldn't look like
common
this
key,
key.
or is it
It
like
wouldn't
that
look like
little
a key.
stick that I found that was a key?
It's like
This
a
is-
metaphorical key.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like-
how about this? And I say open in Elvish. Did it work?
For those of you who speak Elvish, which actually I don't know if any of you... Gunter, you do, right?
I speak a little, but I don't.
Okay.
know that.
He dabbles.
I know that Shae dabbles as well. Everybody, I guess, you guys are all going to benefit from these books.
Yeah. I'll be pouring over
Well, no,
them.
I can speak it fluently. I just can't read it.
Right.
Crap.
You hear Morwen kind of quietly whisper out the word "open." Nothing happens.
Well, it's Singi, right? Shae, why don't you tell it to do stuff, right?
Karotic, at this point, you're the Aarakocra with the red hot coloration. He says, "Well, Morwen,
Yes.
these reliquaries are ancient. They are meant to house artifacts both dangerous and incredibly valuable to our culture. Not all are weapons or dangerous things. Some are very meaningful. Some are cultural to us. But this," and you kind of, like, you can see as he looks at it, you haven't seen this look from Karotic, but there is almost like a hunger in his eyes. This is something that, I mean, is to the Zinni incredibly important. And you gather that just from the way that this bird eye focuses on it. But he says, it is very difficult to open. It requires but one key. And without that key, it is not something that can be picked. This is a technique called ore binding, and it goes back to the Second Age.
You remember the one we carried
Give
forever?
me have you ever seen any of these keys? Give me an example.
Yes, they appear to be almost a cylinder of metal. It will match in color and pattern to this reliquary.
As he's describing it, I'm gonna use locate object
Okay.
and see if the key
Probably
is
just
within
back of the mud.
1,000 feet of us.
As you cast locate object, and miles, you kind of consider that. Karotic does say, many of these attuned rods are within the monastery or one of its satellites. We attempted to locate most of them, not we, but the monks, about 100 years ago.
Collectively.
Yes, it was the last time there was a especially great caravan, the likes of which have not been seen in my lifetime. But I
So
do not
you
know if
know-
we have this one.
Do you know what's in it?
I could
Specifically?
guess, but I
Only
do not know
guess.
specifically.
Tell me. What is it? What is it? What do you think?
She looks, or Karotic looks at you, Shae, and you can tell it is this look of almost asking for permission.
I give you the same look because I'm really excited.
So it's just the kids look at you. Karotic turns back, and it's again that one bird eye kind of focusing and then focusing in on you on the other side. A long time ago, it was told that a blue star appeared in the sky, similar to this one that you've all spoken of. There's a legend that put together 3 artifacts could create something called the Staff of Twisted Fates. This was used once to repel the star. Era wonders if perhaps it could be used to do the same again.
Interesting.
Okay.
So you're telling me that the key is not here, and we are still on this terrace for no reason.
Right, that's what I was gonna get to. as
I'm
well.
gonna turn around and start walking back to the terrace. Be like,
Okay.
come on, Ariadne!
You can see Ariadne at that, actually, for the first time, instead of like pulling out these leaves, she stops and kind of giggles. No, I'm not an elf, but I will follow you.
I
Why do you
didn't
have
call
an
you
elfish
now.
name then?
Well, because the elves are related to us. They come from us in a way. Come. And she follows you, Guntir. Others presumably trail after.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So as we're walking,
Sure.
I definitely want to play the piano again, but it won't.
don't-
Okay. You all watch as Morwen's
I like-
eyes follow the piano as she goes by. And Morwen,
I
as you,
hesitate, but
as you gaze at the piano, Morwen, you realize you're not the
I'm
only
gonna get out
person
my
there.
spray bottle necklace and just like water.
You can see Helia is still waiting there as well, and so Morwen, you hesitate, but you, with all of these different reinforcers, you continue.
So Avery Adam, you intend to
Yes.
bring us where? Because we may intend to go closer to the gate, as crazy as that sounds.
That does sound quite crazy, but I could bring you to the Feywild. You could get closer even there, and if you know of a way to come back, it will not be through me. I hope you understand.
Yeah.
I waited a very long time to come home.
Right. I would feel safer if you went without us, but maybe if you knew of a way to get to this gate.
To the gate, it is in the dwarvish ring of silver. I do not know what this is. I have been on the terrace for almost 4 years now, so
We need to get home.
I would like to.
Yeah.
Time passes very slowly here.
Ah. Well, lucky for us, I guess. To live in that at least and be used to it.
Well, for all of you, time is very different.
Well, sure.
I
Yes,
remember.
I guess.
And right now, time is of the essence, so
You
can
guys
we
kind of-
please?
round the corner. You begin to approach the terrace. And as you do, I would say you guys realize, because you're kind of traveling as a group, Helia's kind of dragging behind a little bit, whereas normally that seems to be either Morwen or Shae's responsibility, depending on who's in front. Since you guys are traveling as a sort of cluster now, she seems to be hanging back and keeping an eye. But you guys approach the terrace.
I'd like to hang back with her.
Okay.
I'd be like side by side with her.
Sure. You,
Just 'cause.
you drop back, and for just a moment, she kind of slows her gait even more. But as you kind of fall back to her position, she seems to kind of relent and picks up, so that you guys are now walking side by side.
Do you, oh,
Sure. You guys are now kind of like passing the room in which you have taken the dresses from and that the hidden vault was in, and you're rounding and now probably about 100 feet away from the beautiful room with these sort of ghostly frescoes and that kind of long, beautifully smelling, but probably not great to drink pool and the magical fountain that lays maybe 100 feet ahead of you. But
oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I was saying something.
no worries. I interrupted you very rudely.
What was I saying? Oh, well, yeah, she's dragging back, so I'm just gonna be like, all right, do you, not wanna keep going?
She kind of stops. Are you stopping with her?
Yeah, I'm chatting with her.
She looks at you, and for the first time, you can see this isn't a playful look. This isn't a challenging look. This isn't even like an angry look, which you've seen directed at Guntir early on a couple times.
I mean, I've seen her mad.
Yeah, and this is not that. Morwen, I don't really know too much about where you come from, but have you ever lost your family?
I've lost several families.
Was it worth having them?
Absolutely.
Starts walking again. You guys approach
Be like,
Guntir.
well, that was dark. And just follow after her.
Sure. Guntir, you lead this group back to the terrace, but as you get close, within 30 feet, you're aware that it is no longer empty.
I'm like, bah.
Okay, you stop. You see shadows cast across. And as you do, for the first time in a very long time, Guntir, you feel this kind of prodding and picking at the edges of your consciousness and in your mind, but also no more than 50 feet away, mimicked in almost a stereo on the terrace, you hear, "Oh, dwarf, it took you a very long time."
Ah, jeez.
Wait, which dwarf? Hallie or Guntir? I have to.
Only Guntir hears this.
No
It's well, actually, no, sorry. You guys all hear this as well. So you hear it coming from out on the terrace. You can hear this voice, low, raspy, and as she speaks, you actually all feel this sinking feeling, this dread that had been suppressed for quite some time, suddenly reemerging. And for a second, Heinrich, this flickers back because you've mentioned it a couple times. There were times where your nightmares were kind of, or your dreams were plagued by nightmares. You guys all were making nightly, pretty heroic attempts to keep this away. And then all at once, when it was broken on Guntir, it seemed as if it stopped. But now, in the presence of this creature, it is certainly returned. And even as this sort of raspy voice fades in your head, Guntir, you see figures kind of presenting themselves on this terrace. 3 Dragonborn walk out. You can see each wearing full plate mail. You see the first one that appears, red scales. You can see at her side there are 2 axes. The long red head quills are swept straight back and bunched together in small gold bands. Her armor is red. It has pauldrons of purple dragon scales. No sleeves. Her arms are free. You can see the next one. They kind of are walking out and form a line. There's 3 of them. The second one, white scales. Snow white. Larger than the other one by almost a good foot. He stands 8 feet tall. Even as he walks in, you can actually hear him kind of laughing. He is bulky, and the armor that he wears is dented, clean, but you can see there are spikes coming out of the shoulders. And the final one that steps into view, you can see, and Guntir, he draws your eyes especially. Normal size for a dragonborn, but kind of skinny. You can see elements of the scales that don't look especially healthy. And for all of you, because you have met somebody with this before, this is kind of the beginning stages of shatter scale. Maybe. Is anybody here proficient in medicine? Anybody take medicine proficiency?
Nope.
Oh, all right.
Absolutely not.
I kind of figured.
No, I
I
have.
don't think I don't. Yeah. Well,
It's not
Guntir, make a medicine check. Why not?
natural 20. Ooh.
Oh.
Well,
Guntir, you go back. You
all
remember
right,
Uvark.
doctor.
You remember Uvark with the full set of shatter scales. You remember him getting hit and these draconic scales shattering like glass. And there are elements of that to the edges, but it's almost as if the scale underneath is brand new and almost glistening. And you realize, and this strikes you because you're old enough to have met other Dragonborn and really know about shatter scale as a plague. This seems to be reversing. You can see also, what draws your attention even more, the armor is iron, silvery metal. Just faintly with your passive perception, you can see that there are elements of this electric blue enamel that has been largely scraped away. But even with the elements that have been scraped, you can see on the chest there is a closed fist, and there's no amount of scratching in the world that would take the lightning bolts out of it. You recognize the sigil of the Priesthood of Thunder. And behind all of them, for a moment, the sunlight, this artificial light, is blocked. And looming over top, you see this purple dragon. The scales inky. You can see between each plate, it's almost as if shadow writhes within, begging to spill out. You can see one eye. Guntir, you remember very vividly this crackling purple energy that spills across the face. But the other eye, now your passive is 20, right?
Passive 19.
Shae, is your passive 20?
It is 19.
Okay.
19, okay. So that is what you see. You can see these huge leathery wings themselves as they shift in this artificial light, leaving behind these traces of shadow. And with this dragon looming over top, the three dragonborn, that is where we're going to take our break. So, thank you guys very much for sticking with us so far through the break. It's been awesome seeing a lot of people. I know, Doss, you're sticking with us for now, and I know that you have a campaign starting pretty soon, which is super cool for you, but sad for us. I saw Talon, I saw Izzy Beth, a whole bunch of people in the chat. But for now, we're going to take our break, and when we come back,
Probably gonna die.
you guys are going to
Find
be
out.
face to face with Kind-Scale for the first time. So, it is currently 9:46. We'll be back at 9:56. We'll see you then. And welcome back to Adventures in Alberon, where the players don't talk straight into the time that we're going to start talking and distract me. I'm Joe, I'm the Dungeon Master. If you're just joining us, thank you for tuning in. And if you've stuck with us from the beginning, thank you for staying through the break. We are going to jump right back into it in just a second. For those of you who are just tuning in, our group this evening has done a little bit of exploring and gone through some of this beautiful Gold Glow estate. You guys were able to find Avery Atomy, the Child of Autumn. This, as players, you would know this Eladrin from the Feywild, who has been captured there for at least 4 years and is really excited to go home. Guntir, you freeing her from this battle royale style exploding collar, using just your fists and just a touch of magic. But you guys also approached the terrace proper and were confronted by 3 dragonborn in full plate mail, along with Kinescale herself, the purple dragon, the stuff of nightmares, this creature that comes from the beginning of the Second Age. And that is what we're going to jump right back in. So let me get rid of this jungle music. Let me bring up the Kinescale music. So, Guntir, you are in front. You can see these 3 dragonborn and Kinescale behind. You can see the eyes focus mostly on you every now and then, especially the one kind of crackling purple one looking up and regarding the others, but mostly to you, Guntir. So, it isn't too late for you to join the winning side. I know how you feel about your current employer. I could offer you boons as well.
I'm gonna
Do we
take
not
a.
hear this?
Yeah, this is Kinescale in front of these 3 dragonborn in a line that are maybe 20 feet out in front on the terrace itself. And for a little bit of visual perspective, let me go ahead and post a picture of the room that you're in. It is a very large room. I'll just post it. General, and then if somebody would post that into the Twitch chat, that would be great.
The picture that I am seeing before the picture of the map is not spatially correct. I am not within chomping
Fine.
distance.
No.
Okay.
So,
You're not currently
looking at this
there
map,
yet.
you are all entering from the northern
Will not
doorway.
get chomped.
So you can see, Guntir, you're about 20 feet off this map north.
Okay.
The Kinescale is on the other side of this bridge. The 3 dragonborn are standing right at the beginning of the bridge on the southern side of it.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of space between you, but all of you can certainly hear and observe what is happening. No doubt.
Oh god, so bad with names.
Avery Atomy?
Avery Atomy is where?
You can see now, kind of looking around really quick, taking inventory, she is pressed up against the wall, and you watch the wide eyes shake no, and then disappears.
All right, well, I guess I'll leave her there then.
Gonna walk up and just put a hand on Gunter's shoulder.
Like, you trust me on this one?
Who are you talking to?
To Shae.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Follow my lead.
Oh no.
Alright, well, what's your offer?
You can see at this point now, kind of feeling what's happening, Krodok sort of appears on your shoulder, not like as a bird on your shoulder, but right behind you, Shae. And then
swap the hand away from Shae and take a step forward as well.
Okay, and then on your other side, as you step forward, you kind of leave Helia behind. She was on your left side, but you take a couple steps forward. And you say, what?
Well, what's your offer?
She smiles, and you can see the neck crane down slightly. And as she does, this blue scaled dragonborn with the sort of shattered elements, you can see, looks up to Kinescale. No, I don't really think you want to trust this one. I know him from before. And he's
Who the
now
hell are
pointing
you?
at you. And actually, interesting point, Guntir. What?
Squint real hard.
Okay,
at
make,
him.
make an intelligence check. What did you go by while you were with the Priesthood of Thunder?
Oh, what was the name? Hold on.
Peebo.
Peebo.
No.
It's canon now.
Graham Cracker.
I was actually talking in chat about this during the break, but Guntir has a pretty long backstory.
Yeah, there's a lot of
He's old
names.
as
It's
hell.
hard
Of
to
course he
remember.
does.
I think Gunter probably actually forgets because I can't find it right now. So
Very well.
Keep it. You are Gunter's brain.
I'm gonna say it. Yeah, he can say whatever he wants, but I'm gonna squint real hard at him, regardless. And
What's
that's
your
a
intelligence check?
17 on my
17.
17 intelligence squint.
Your eyes, one of them, drifts back, and you think, to your past, you don't recognize him specifically. You see again the sigil on his chest. I mean, he's wearing armor that would have belonged to one of the paladins, probably one of the very few paladins that the priesthood had, at least in the Dominion chapter. So you would imagine probably at one point a part of the priesthood of Thunder. You don't recognize him. But as you say, "Who are you?" he laughs. Very funny. Look, Variok, you recognize me. You should.
I wasn't even talking to you. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking to Kindscale. If you don't mind, get out of here.
You see Kindscale again look down. Yes, what is this interruption? And you can see this really large white-scale dragonborn just kind of goes, yeah, why are you always interrupting? And you can see the red one just kind of put a hand on the white one's shoulder. There's some argument happening between them, but Kindscale, or the blue dragonborn who has introduced himself as Look Variok, looks at you and levels a hand. You know, there were those who always said you couldn't be trusted. I never really cared, one way or the other. Maybe you couldn't tell, but the priesthood wasn't really for me. But this isn't for you.
I don't know who you are, and I don't know who you think you are, but I don't care about anything that you're saying. I'm talking to the dragon. You are being insubordinate. And if you're gonna show that kind of disrespect to your boss, then I don't think I do want to join your group.
Make a intimidation check.
Get that. I don't intimidate that often, if we're being quite honest. That's an 18, though.
Okay. 18, okay. You can see suddenly he draws back a little bit. There's a scowl. The scales on the lip kind of come back, and you can see the sharp dragonborn teeth. But then he turns his head to the side, and Kindscale takes one step forward. You can see the water in this rectangular pond ripple. The silk lily pads kind of flop a little bit. One of them actually sinks. But she leans forward. She looks at the blue dragonborn. Look, Variok, you would like this one. He, too, detests his master. You once told me that you were no friend of the Stormlord. So, Gunter, what I offer you is a different path. And you can see at that, the eyes flick over to Shae and Krodok.
What kind of path is that?
One that doesn't leave you broken and dead. The same one that your ally picked. The same one that your allies picked.
Oh, yeah? And how'd it turn out for them?
You see some of the Dragonborn kind of chuckles. 3 different voices that all laugh at the same time. And the red one kind of comes in. I do not know who it is that you are, but We are all gifted from Kindscale. You would be the first not of our kind. Show some gratitude and some respect. And you can see your hands do like slowly creep to these axes. And what are you doing?
The only people who are showing disrespect right now are the 3 insubordinates standing in front of here talking like they have any business in this matter.
And as she goes to respond, this one huge claw from Kindscale comes out and just kind of like goes out just to be in front, and it actually shoves the Dragonborn maybe like 5 feet back. But Kindscale gazes at you intently. I'm waiting.
Oh, well, I've heard what I get. Now, what are you gonna ask for me?
A show of faith. Start with her. And you can see the large head crane and look towards Shae. I know you're not very fond of her anyways.
This is pretty enticing. You say. I'm gonna slowly make my way up towards Kindscale.
Okay. You make your way up. Shae, what are you doing?
As I'm like pondering.
Like slow step walking behind?
From sort of a cinematographic viewpoint, pulling the camera away and looking at it from the side, on one side of this bridge, these 3 Dragonborn, the red and the white one in front, the blue one behind, begin crossing the bridge. You can see Kindscale behind, stays in her position for the time being. You have Guntir on the other side now kind of enter onto the bridge, and you can hear on both ends the footsteps on wood as they cross. You guys are now Guntir, Shae, Krodok, Helia on one end of the bridge, and the 3 Dragonborn on the other.
What exactly is the distance? Sorry.
Looking at the map, the distance on the bridge is only 25 feet long.
Okay.
Like, I'm trying to keep a solid 10 feet between me and Guntir, so, like, deliberately
okay, so you're about
step.
45 feet back.
Okay.
Or, from the actual Dragonborn themselves. 10 feet back from Guntir. Krodok is going to stay with you. Helia is staying with you, Guntir. So it's 2 dwarves on one side of the bridge, 3 Dragonborn on the other.
Oh, Helia is standing right next to me, following me? Oh, man. Okay. Alright. And, so what? I gotta kill Shae, and then what? What next? You know,
Guntir, I've seen your dreams and what you desire. You do not wish to be shackled to Cord any more than you wish to be shackled to me. I could eat you. I could enslave you, but I understand what a risk it would be to keep you close. But I also know you want the power that Cord can give you. So perhaps you could have both. Beholden to none, but more powerful than any dwarf has ever been. Guntir, you can have nightmares or you could have dreams. I'm offering you a choice.
Yeah, this is all pretty enticing, I gotta admit. So, there's gotta be some sort of catch. I've been around, okay? I'm not trying to disrespect, but, you know, 287 years, you see some scams, and this sounds like, you know, a too-good-to-be-true kind of situation.
You can see this crackling, almost distortion of reality puff out from the mouth. What you would imagine for most dragons would be fire is this almost psychic force, so powerful it's visible. It warps the threads of the weave itself as it sort of bursts from between the teeth. I believe you are mistaken. This is not a negotiation. This is a fleeting offer.
Ah.
One that you have not accepted. I'm so very sorry, Guntir. But as I said, it worked out well for both your allies. And Guntir, at this moment, what is your armor class?
15.
You feel on your right side, between your ribs, this piercing pain as a dagger slides between them.
Oh!
For the rest of you,
So there was a catch!
You see Helia stab Guntir in the back.
Bitch.
I need everybody to roll initiative, but also Guntir. You take 20 points of piercing damage.
Dang!
Ow.
How'd you do me like that?
And I need everybody to roll initiative, because that's where this is going now.
Hey! Not cool!
Betrayal.
I was gonna be the one to betray!
Too slow.
If only. Okay, so let me get some proper music going here. I kind of thought this might be where it goes, so I pre-rolled initiative for this battle. It went both very well and very poorly in your favor, but we'll get there in just a second. So, anybody with natural 20s? All right, 25 to 20.
Really?
20 to 15.
15.
17.
I got
15
Okay,
as
so
well.
15 as well.
17 from
You got all
Morwen.
15.
This happened last session
Yeah.
too.
Shae. Then we're gonna have Heinrich, and then Guntir.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a toughie.
Going after that, Chronicle to 7, but still gets
Yeah,
to. Yeah, I mean he still gets to 14. Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna count this as a surprise round. That is Helia's surprise round on you, Guntir. Even as the dagger sticks in, you can hear these lips now just inches from your ear. I am sorry, Guntir. So, Kindskill is going first. She is 45 feet back. However, all of a sudden you watch as her wings and she lifts off. You can see elements of the grass and trees and vines blowing in this torrential, almost forceful wind. But she takes off and soars 45 feet up directly to you, Guntir, and then past overhead, and Shae lands directly in front of you. I know danger when I see it, girl. She is going to use, so all of you, everybody within 120 feet that is aware of Kindskill, which is everybody, to make a wisdom saving throw.
Gee.
Natural 20, total 26.
Fantastic.
23.
Great.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Morwen?
15.
Morwen, you see the creature land in front of Shae. You could hear the raspy voice, and you can see reality itself bending around this creature's mouth. You are frightened of Kindskill. So
Great.
for the next minute, you cannot get closer to Kindskill. You can only move further away or stay where you are. Attacks against Kindskill will be at disadvantage. And then she is going to make 2 attacks against you, Shae. She's going to make 3 attacks against you, Shae.
Beautiful.
First, you can see the claws lash out. First one is going to be a 13 to hit.
Negative.
That's better. Second one is going to be a 24 to hit.
That hits.
You're going to take 11 points of slashing damage. And as the first hit kind of pulls you to the side a little bit and you fall off balance, she goes in for a bite. That is a natural 20.
No.
That is going to be... It's honestly not as bad as a lot of the other things she can do. Although that sucks. It's 16, 32 plus 5. You take 37 points of piercing damage and 5 points of psychic damage as this massive mouth
So 37
closes.
total?
Yeah, closes around your shoulder. You actually feel that sense of dread, that weight in your stomach almost spread through the bite. You feel, if it were possible, terror almost run through your blood. But actually, I believe it's level 11. You become immune to poison.
Correct.
You do not feel it take effect.
Nice.
That is her turn. That is going to bring
Ouch.
us to Morwen. Shae, you're on deck.
Oh shit, I can't get close to her. Damn it.
What are you doing?
Oh. I guess I'm just going to ready an attack for any of the hostiles that get close enough to me.
Okay,
Can't go closer to her, which is where everyone is.
sure.
Anyway,
So-
to Puss and Butts, but I'm also going to yell at Helia and be like, Helia, what the fuck?
Okay. See, Puss and Butts both appear in your hands. Worth noting. No, actually, sorry. That's it. So Puss and Butts appear in your hand. You ready an attack in case somebody comes within range of you. That is your turn. At the end of your turn, Kind Skill is going to use a legendary action. You can see the face still looking at you, Shae. The whole body shifts and turns. And Guntir, she's going to make a tail attack 10 feet away against you. That is going to be, is that a 6? That is going to be a 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Math, 16 points of bludgeoning damage as this tail collides with you. You're almost like thrown from where you are. You managed to withstand it. You're a stout little guy, but it hurts. That is her legendary action. That is the end of Morwen's turn. That brings us to Shae, and then Heinrich, you're on deck. Guntir, you're in the hole.
Yeah.
Does she look corporeal? Like, she has a physical form, correct?
As you feel the blood pumping out of these wounds, and you
Feels
kind of
pretty
ring
physical.
from the rape
Wonderful.
claws. Yeah, kind of a
It's not an
physical.
illusion.
I want to climb up on top of her.
Okay, you could use one of your attacks, I'll say, to make an athletics check. Sure. Or acrobatics check. your choice.
Acrobatics. Okay.
Your choice. You are a monk.
That is 25.
25. She's only gonna get. Yeah, no problem. You leap. She claws forwards again. Just hits the air as you're already up, hovering above for just a moment. The Zinni garb around you kind of rises up at your shoulders, and for a brief moment, it's as if there's these tiny wings that spread. But you land on the back. The head begins to crane around. What are you doing now?
And flurry blows.
I believe to use Flurry of Blows, don't you need to land an attack?
No. It's a bonus action. Free. You spend 1 key to do 2 attacks.
Very good. Flurry of Blows.
First one is 25 to hit.
Okay. 25 hits. You can go ahead and roll damage on that.
For 10.
10. You hit. It seems to almost ricochet. You feel like that did... it did 10 points of damage.
And the second hit is 28
28 hits.
for 10 again. Jeez.
Okay. So, you can see dust come away from the scale. The opening layers of whatever kind of material makes them kind of flecking off, but this is a large creature, and this is a strong creature. You don't notice any immediate reaction. That your turn?
Yep.
Alrighty. Guntir, what would you like to do?
Isn't it me?
It's Heinrich first.
Oh, sorry, Heinrich, what would you like to do? Guntir, you're on deck. Then Kronix.
So, I think I mapped it out on the grid you sent us.
Okay.
I can make a 60-foot line that hits, and I can curve this, that hits Kindscale's head, passes through, what's it called, Helia, and then hits the other 3, with a 60-foot line that could be up to 10 feet high.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm drawing that line, and the line is Wall of Light.
Okay, so for
all
all
of
of you,
first. Yeah, we'll do the when it happens thing. Yeah.
so all of you see suddenly for the first time around Heinrich these larger glyphs appear, no longer teal, but almost this radiant light that seems to spill forth from them. These aren't just glowing glyphs; these are almost openings. And suddenly they begin to weave together, and this light wall begins to shoot out. But as a reaction, I need you, Heinrich, to go ahead and make for me a wisdom saving throw.
Okie dokie. That is 22.
22. You watch
I never do wisdom
Kindscale's
saving throws.
eye
I'm pretty good at them.
flicks towards you, and you see something happen, but whatever it is doesn't seem to take effect. You can almost feel your body being pulled, maybe not even through space, but through time, and you resist it. Okay, so what does it do?
Redoubling my efforts at that point. Sort of like a ha, ah.
Yeah, so you can see the wall kind of like flicker for a moment,
Yeah.
and then suddenly surge brighter, and then streak forwards.
Cool. So tracing beginning at Kindscale's face
Okay.
and hitting all 5 of them in like a line, so it will stay here.
Sure.
in this,
So that's
all of
going to
them,
cut the bridge in half diagonally,
like
slightly.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
So anyone within it, which is pointedly none of my allies, first needs to make a Constitution saving throw against 17.
Okay. Con save.
Yeah.
All right, Kindscale is going to. Ooh, actually, that's going to be real close. No, she's fine. Helia is certainly going to fail. And then the 3 Dragonborn, just take 3 dice. All of them but the blue one fail. So that's 3 failures. Or sorry, 4 failures. No, 3 failures, 1 success. 2 successes.
Sure.
Kindscale.
Okay, so 36 radiant damage or half if they succeeded. And anyone who failed is blind for a minute.
Okay. Give me just a moment to mark.
Sorry you
that
have to track
down.
all that. I'm really sorry, but hey. Complicated shit at you.
So, blind. And it's blind for how long?
1 full minute.
And there's Hilly.
And they don't get to... Oh, no, they do, I guess.
They get to save at the end of their turn.
At the end of their turn, okay, sure. But then the 36 radiant or half as well.
Yes.
And
So
that wall lasts for 10 minutes, and I can do other stuff on subsequent turns.
as this wall streaks into existence for anybody, and that's really only Guntir and Shae who can kind of see this coming, it is a tide of these celestial glyphs that are at once appearing and then forming this wall. But this huge wall of radiant light stretches across the space. You can see the red and white scaled dragonborn. Their eyes suddenly just shine with the same light. And you can see they shy away as if it's too bright for them, but it's emanating from their own eyes, as if light has been cast on them. You can see Helia too suddenly kind of blink, these eyes streaking forwards. She seems blind as well.
How did the damage look like it affected, most pointedly,
Kindscale?
Kindscale, yeah.
About normal.
Okay. Darn. Still though.
Still,
track.
yeah, a good, and that's a good chunk of damage.
Yeah, and also blind on everyone except for her.
Yeah, doing stuff.
I'm doing stuff.
All I did was yell.
So,
All I did was yell
you,
at our friend.
you see all of this occur. What else are you doing?
Duh. Sorry, bonus action heal Guntir. He's within, what's the distance? He's within 60 feet of me, correct?
Yeah.
Because the
He's
wall,
within
yeah, the
45.
wall bent and it was, alright, cool. Da. Alright, Guntir.
Burn the enemies, heal the Gunter.
Burn the enemies.
Not
heal the
that
gunter.
bad right now.
Yeah, well,
Just
you just
saying.
took... Oh, wait, no, Shae took the most
I
damage.
took damage.
That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. I was assigning the 36 bite to Guntir for some reason. Did you
She
just
got
have
Gunter
too
Gunter gets hurt all the time.
That's true. It's to
you
it's
look
to
over,
Shae.
You can
Subverted
see Shae hurt,
expectations.
so you-
Yeah, sorry. I hold on. Where was I at? I had 3. Okay. Okay.
Shae gets chomped and Heinrich's like,
Guntir,
"Here you
no!"
go, Guntir. That stab in the back must have
Yeah.
stopped."
All right. So I think I can only use 5 of them at a time.
I believe so, yeah.
Cramps.
Yeah, because it's my charisma modifier. Okay, so then you heal 22 because I rolled pretty fucking well.
So even as this wall extends out, blinding several of these dragonborn Shae, you feel this element of healing, and looking down, you can see in some of these wounds, these huge puncture marks from his teeth. You see the glyph expand across, and then the skin seem to almost drag back with it together as it closes elements of the wounds. A lot of healing. Well done. That is your turn?
That's probably the most I've ever done with that ability.
That's your turn?
But you brought me
Yeah,
from-
I think that's it. I'm within range for all my other shit, so I'm not moving.
Well done. Guntir, what do you want to do? Crodoc's on deck.
So how far away is Kind Scale from me right now?
At this moment, you would see Kind Scale 10 feet behind you.
Okay, and then how... Well, she's blind now, right, Helia? But she's standing right next to me, pretty much.
You can't see Helia's eyes, point in fact, because she's in front of you. You can see that 2 of the Dragonborn are certainly blind. And you'd imagine, I think you can probably tell that something's up with Helia.
Okay.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna...
I'll say, she just stabbed him.
Something's up with her.
Something's up.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like, get myself away from Helia and try to go toward Kind Scale.
Okay, that is going to provoke an attack of opportunity from Helia.
Yeah,
Should be
that's fine. I'm
disadvantaged
gonna
because
say...
she's blind.
It's not too late for you, Helia. I forgive you.
Yeah, and as you say that and you kind of back away, she slashes out completely in the wrong direction, but she misses you. So you move away. Are you heading across the bridge still, like away from, like towards the Dragonborn or towards Kind Scale? Those are your
Towards Kind
options.
Scale.
Okay. 10 feet will close you into her range.
All right, so I'm gonna go 10 feet, and then by grabbing her tail as a help action,
Okay.
give Shae some benefit.
So you watch
Bowser
his
her.
tail as the tail swings and poof, hits Guntir. Guntir, there is this of sound, but you grab on. Make an athletics check.
That is a 14.
She rolled a natural 1.
Oh, nice.
And so the
Word.
tail poof, into the air, and you watch as Guntir just kind of feet up. You, as it slams in, you like catch yourself surprisingly strong. Your knees bending and taking the weight of it. You don't take any damage. You're holding on to the tail. Well done.
And then, as my solidarity action, I'm
Sure.
going to make a
Bonus attack.
Yeah.
Go for it.
That is a natural 20.
Awesome. Roll damage on that.
Fuck.
And your bonus
Now
action.
chop that tail. Chop that tail off.
I'm chopping the tail
Kill
off.
it. Kill it.
All right, let me just see, because now I have... Yeah, okay.
Stop hitting yourself.
I have
stop
my
hitting yourself.
great weapon fighting now. So. Ooh, all right.
Fighter Guntir.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not using her. Dumb. All right. Nice. So that's 13 plus 7 from my divine strike. Yeah.
Okay. So you pull this axe down. Divine Strike is it not a bonus action?
No, it's just when I make a creature with a I hit a creature with a weapon attack, I get to add.
Fantastic. So 20 total?
Yes.
Nice. So you slash into the tail against the stone. You're hoping to cleave it in half. You can see the scales crack, and the axe does go in a little bit. The tail flicks away. You can actually see this kind of a hesitation on the face, and then a little bit of anger. But you can see actually now she's focused very much on Heinrich.
Well, sure.
Was that since it was critical? Was that 40 damage? Or
You double
I
the
forget how it
dice
works.
roll.
Oh. Okay, so yeah, that was 40 then.
Okay. So how much did you roll?
I rolled 20.
So okay,
With
that's
the modifier,
40
or-
damage, and then there's no modifier because it's the
Oh,
bonus action
bonus.
helping thing, right?
I
So-
mean, it's just an attack roll, so it's plus my strength, so I guess plus 2.
Okay.
So 44.
So
Or
you
40.
watch this axe. So as you're holding on with one arm, being like tossed around by the tail, you swing with the axe, and as it comes down, there's the moment where lightning out the back of it, and it seems to propel it forwards. It sinks into the scales, and then again deeper, and you can actually see this of blood kind of emerge from the wound. That's a pretty good hit.
Made
Well
it
done.
bleed.
That is your turn. As her legendary action, at the end of your turn, you can see she
Another
flicks
one.
back, looking at you, and the wings flap, and you feel yourself jostled. And I need everybody within 10 feet, which means it is going to be Guntir. Oh,
If she tries
Just
to take
Guntir?
off with me, I'm letting go.
okay. She's
I
not
don't
trying
wanna
to take
get-
off with you. This is a
Okay.
wing attack.
Okay.
So I need Guntir and Shae to make wisdom saving throws. Or sorry, dexterity saving throws.
Ah,
Is
dang,
Talia
I wish
part
it
of
was
it too?
wisdom.
Hell yeah. She's 20 feet away, so she's not within this range.
26.
Yeah, you're fine.
19.
What was yours, Guntir?
19.
Wow. Damn.
So Guntir,
The dice are hot
They
tonight.
are.
That's
Gunter,
a
you
flat
take-
19 because it's just dex.
Guntir, you take 13 points
Okay,
of
that's
bludgeoning
fine.
damage,
I'm not even mad.
halved to 7,
Oh, that's totally reasonable.
and you actually shift back like a foot in your space. The force of the wind is so great, but you do not get knocked prone. And she can now move up to half her flying speed. She is going to go up 20 feet, and she is now directly above you, Heinrich.
Aren't I in a hallway still? I didn't enter on
Oh, you
this,
didn't
right?
enter. No, you aren't. So you
Yeah,
she
I'm like
actually
off
can't
the map to the
go
north.
hallway.
Yeah.
Then she's going to stop right in front of the door and land, kind of blocking that off.
Stick her head forward.
Yeah. But that
Wait,
is.
is that close enough to Morwen to reaction?
Yes, in fact, actually.
Because
So
where,
yeah,
where you
That's good.
are, you're
absolutely,
in the hallway towards the door.
100%. So Morwen, point of fact, she lands right next to you. Almost kind scale, like complete
Oh,
disregard to
okay.
you, focused entirely on Heinrich. Right in front of you, you can make your attacks. You have them prepared.
But since it's against her, am I still frightened?
Yes,
It's still
this is a
disadvantage.
disadvantage. Yes,
But then is it sneak attack advantage?
this is not
So
a
wait.
sneak attack.
I thought it was just a conditional thing, not like a choice thing. Okay, not bad.
19.
19. 19 just hits.
Oh, nice.
Yay!
Go ahead and roll
Sweet.
damage.
Back that. Okay.
This is not sneak attack, so this is just
Oh,
normal
wait.
plus damage.
It's 7. Sorry.
Wait, Matt,
7.
what were you saying though?
I understand the help
7.
action does grant advantage, but because there's also disadvantage, it
It-
doesn't matter. Also, your help action doesn't really apply because you had to let go and were tossed away.
There.
So, that was 7 damage?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Real strong 7 damage.
You can see
Everything
where
counts.
Guntir has like deeply penetrated the tail. You slash at it and you see more blood streak out. Every little
You
bit helps.
contributed.
Wait,
Lands in front of
I
the hole.
saved-
Your,
saved my
your
butt,
participation sticker.
didn't I?
You
My butts
is butts is considered a bonus action, right?
No, because it's dual wield. No. I don't
It's a
think so.
bonus action.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
No, I don't. Well, whatever. It's okay.
Look it up, and you can take the
Yeah.
attack too if you can get it.
Yeah. Okay.
But that is her legendary action, and that was at the end of Guntir's turn, which means it is now Krodik's turn. Krodik is going to streak forwards. He is also going to get into the air, and he's attacking directly at the neck. First attack is going to be a miss. Second attack is also going to be a miss. And the third attack is also a miss. Thank you, Krodik. You can see slashing now, but with the narrow space with Morwen just on one side and Guntir directly behind, Using the spear in this very, very confined area is a little difficult for him. That is going to bring us to Helia, who is blind. Okay. Guntir, roll a d4 for me.
That's a 4.
Okay. You watch as Helia, she swings as you kind of flee out of range, and she continues to swing. The momentum of the second swing carrying her over. She's going to try to make a save. And you see over the railing and into the water.
Nice.
The water is only about 3 feet deep, but splashing in.
I thought it was like over the edge of the terrace for a second.
No. You guys are pretty
Not
far
there.
from the terrace. But yeah, splashes into the water. You can see using half of her movement to get back up. She takes 5 feet in your direction, but is still a decent distance away and now separated by the wall.
She's wet.
Yes, very much so. But she smells better. That is her turn. She's going to make the save again. She does not make the save.
Betrayer.
Okay,
It is now the Nightmare's turn. So this red dragonborn who is blind. Gunter, go ahead and roll another d4 for me.
Send him to the terrace. That's a 3.
Okay. So the two dragonborn, the red and the white one, kind of stumble, bumping into each other a little bit, but with this only 10 feet wide, they use each other to sort of navigate across the bridge. They are both blind. So this is literally the blind leading the blind, but they do end up rushing forward. So the frontmost person would be you, Gunter, at this point. So getting to within range of you, they are going to make attacks at disadvantage because they are blind. And as they approach Gunter, you can actually see the light like shining from within, this radiant light that is not allowing them to see. They're going to make... So the white one is going to miss. You can see this long sword suddenly appear and flick towards you. The red one has 2 axes. And swinging that, she rolled a natural 20 and a 7. So you can see coming to within inches of your face. This is the Matrix. And it just goes over.
Shave some
A couple
of
of
my beard.
these little platinum mustache hairs separate off, but misses you. Blindness actually really helping you out in this case.
Thanks.
Hey, you know what? I mean, that honestly pretty good attack, but as part of that multi-attack, you can also see the white one. You know what? They can't see anything. No, they're not going to do that. Okay. But they do know you're there. Gunter, the red one is going to open its mouth. And you can actually see elements of
I know
fire
what's
from
coming.
the inside coming out. And she's going to spray fire at you. Make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Okay. Didn't I just get... Oh, no, that's... Dex save. 13.
Okay. You are going to take 13 points of fire damage.
That's still pretty reasonable.
She rolled real bad. Nothing higher than a 3. Or no, sorry, 1 5 and then nothing higher than a 3. As fire erupts from this maw and envelops you, kind of out, you can actually see behind Kindscale Morwen, right in front of you. She's now like silhouetted by fire that kind of comes out behind her. She looks pretty
that's
terrifying. Yeah,
I'm already
absolutely.
pretty scared.
And then finally, this blue one, Gunter, in a flash, he closes with you. You can see eyes honed in on you, and you can hear this kind of throaty, almost like asthmatic chuckle as he does. But he is going to make both attacks against you. First one's going to be a 26. Second one is going to be a 14.
Ooh, second one misses.
Excellent. First one is going to be 13 points of slashing damage. And as he does this, he is going to turn and looking past Kindscale, 30 feet, at you, Shae. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
How's a 23?
It is phenomenal. You succeed. You only take 2 points of lightning damage, which I believe, because you're a monk,
Negated.
You can see the lightning that as he points, lightning streaks from the finger. It should strike you. You feel the bolt coming, and in a moment, feel the key in your energy realigns so that the bolt almost passes through you. Nothing seems to happen. But in this moment, as it does that, you feel with the bolt your physical presence dragged, and you get pulled 15 feet back. You are you actually go by him and you are right at the base of the bridge.
Can I smack him on my way by?
Have you used your reaction yet?
I have
No,
not.
have not. So yes, you may. You can get attack of opportunity on that.
That's a weird one.
Oh, hey!
That's a... I can't math. Jeez. 23. My number's
23.
9.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage on that. As you get pushed by the streak, you're getting pulled by lightning essentially. You go by and you sock him right in the chest.
For 13.
13. Wow. Okay.
Breadbasket.
The momentum. You take the momentum of this pull and Superman punch him right in the solar plexus. Or right in the sternum. You could hear this kind of as he kind of loses all of the oxygen. That's a pretty good hit for a attack of opportunity being presented by him pushing you back. Well done. You get yanked 15 feet back. You stop at the base of this. You can see over the edge of the railing, Helia climbing to her feet, dagger in hand, Gunter's blood dripping off of it into the water. That is going to be the Nightmare's turn. That brings us up to the top of the round, which is Kynescale. She regains her legendary actions. And she, looking down this hallway at you, Heinrich.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the eyes seem to become almost bigger. The mouth opens up, and instead of fire, this burst of radiant psychic terror emerges from the mouth, but then seems to drop to the ground like heavy gas, and then across a 30-foot dome. So that is going to be, I need Heinrich, Guntir, Morwen, Kroddick, and actually the Blue Dragonborn to all make Constitution saving throws. Dragonborn is
Wait,
going to
what
fail.
exactly is this? Is this something that I can use evasion with?
You can, yes. This is an area effect.
That was a dirty...
And Helia fails. Dirty.
Oh no,
17.
that allows you to make a dex saving throw. So
This is a dex saving throw. Oh no, sorry. This is a
Constitution.
Constitution
Yeah.
saving throw. Sorry. So, 17.
Yep, 17.
then I think I can use my uncanny dodge for it, which I'll just have
Yeah.
it if it.
That's any damage. Yeah. Shae, what was yours?
I didn't need to make one, right?
Into it. Right. You and Helia are far enough. So, Guntir and Heinrich, the two of you are struck by this wave. It is a cold sensation that grips your heart and seems to pull hope from your physical form itself. You are going to take... Oh, Jesus, I forgot about this. This is why I did this. Dropped them.
That didn't sound too great on this end.
No.
It's a lot of dice.
A whole bunch had to fill a bunch.
You are going to take, for Guntir and Heinrich, that is
Also,
42 points of psychic damage.
Whoa! That's on a save?
And as it hits, oh no, you did not save. 20 doesn't save.
20. Whoa! Oh,
So it
boy.
doesn't matter what I rolled either then. 'Cause I
What did you roll?
18. I
Yeah,
rolled
so
18.
all of you take 42 points of
Yikes.
psychic damage.
All
You
right.
can feel, as you see this seem to ripple out from her, you can feel and hear the sound, but it seems to almost vibrate through your bones. And as it does, you are transported in your mind as it is almost ripped to horrifying visions, things from your pasts. Guntir, you can see in a brief moment in this kind of hazy purple wave that hits you, this laughing visage of the wolf. Morwen, for just a moment, as this hits you hard, you can see the leering face of this Dungannon Navy admiral. And Heinrich, you, for just a moment, see the bottom half of a face. But for all of you, you take this tremendous amount of damage as this wave ripples across you. That is her action. And that is actually going to be her turn. Yeah.
I have a question about that because I used Uncanny Dodge. I took half because I failed it, and then I half that in addition to using the Uncanny Dodge? So I take 11 and not 22?
What?
Or do I take the full 22?
You take
Why
22.
did you have it twice?
Yeah, you take 22.
Because I have the damage.
Yeah.
But
just
it's already
once.
half. I'm just wondering.
So that is going to be her turn. That brings us to Morwen. Shae, you are on deck. Morwen, what do you want to do?
She's still next to me.
Right next to you. You can see her back left leg is like right next to you.
And am I still frightened?
You are?
Oh,
For like 8 more rounds.
Oh, I thought it was just one turn for some
1 minute.
reason.
It's 1 minute.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm gonna attack her anyway,
Yeah, go ahead.
even if it is at disadvantage.
Would have been a natural 20.
10.
Okay. 10. You slash out. You feel yourself pulling the blow. You don't want to get close. You don't hit. It's hard to even see kind scale through these nightmares that are gripping your mind in a very real way. That's a miss. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna run the fuck away from her.
Okay. That does provoke an
I'm
attack of
gonna just use-
opportunity.
Not because I made an attack. Or I made an attack, so fancy footwork.
Yeah, you know what? I'll allow it. And she's also not looking at you, so no problem. You separate. How far are you moving?
I'm gonna use all 30 feet to.
Okay. 30 feet.
No way.
You can get 2 Shae and then, or sorry. Yeah, you can get 2 Shae and then 15 feet past onto the bridge if you want.
I'll be in between Shae and the bridge.
Okay, so you get 5 feet in front of Shae, bridge behind her. That is your turn. Shae, or actually, at the end of that, I'm going to say using her legendary action.
Oh no.
I'm going to have her make a tail attack against you, Morwen.
Oh no.
As you run.
That's rude as hell.
Right?
The tail whips out, and you easily, in step, not even trying to jump over it, just step over it.
Oh.
Natural 1. Misses pretty bad. But that is her legendary action. That is the end of Morwen's turn. Shae, what would you like to do? Heinrich, you are on deck.
Who's around me right now?
At this moment, Helia, 10 feet away from you on your right, down a little bit and in the water. You can see behind you, or no, sorry, not behind you, in front of you by 5 feet is Morwen. Currently, there are 2 blind dragonborn up a little bit right in front of Guntir. And then there is 1 very not blind dragonborn also right in front of Guntir.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna hit a dragon.
Okay. You streak forwards past Morwen. You can easily, with your movement, just weave around the people and get to kind scale. Go ahead and make your attacks.
24?
24 hits. You can roll damage on that.
That's 11.
11 points of damage. Not bad.
How's I can't math. 21
21 hits.
for 13.
13.
27
27 hits also.
for
The most.
13.
Nice.
And the last one is 26.
26. Okay, so that hits as well.
For 12.
Jesus.
Okay. You, first of all, you streak past Morwen. Morwen, you, as you back up, you see Shae in front of you, and suddenly, just gone. You turn your head in time to see the 4th hit land as Shae, you pummel the back of Kind Scale. She doesn't turn. Anything else?
No, that's it.
At the end of your turn, and Heinrich, because she is looking at you, you see this kind of annoyed look behind. Shae, I need you to go ahead and make for me an intelligence saving throw.
It's a 15.
Suddenly, you feel this grip of terror in your mind. You can hear Kindscale's voice. Friends, enemies, they're all the same. Go. And you suddenly, looking around, are completely unfamiliar with any of these people. You are unable to distinguish friend from foe. You regard all creatures you can see as enemies until
Is
this.
this considered charmed or frightened?
This is considered frightened.
Okay.
Are you immune to being frightened?
I can use an action to end it on my next turn.
Fair
Oh
enough.
my god! Steal of mind.
Whenever you attack a creature, just so you know, Tina, you need to choose the target at random from among the creatures you can see within range of your attack. So when we get to that point, if we get to that point, we will we'll
Don't kill Guntir.
get there. This is a golden opportunity, realistically. But yeah, she glances behind and casts Enemy Abound.
She cast something, huh?
As a legendary action, yes.
So that was a spell? Okay, because I had... Never mind, fuck it.
Okay.
Nothing.
That is the end of
I have
Shae's
counter
turn.
spell, and it's just, if it's not...
You can use it.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. So, Heinrich, what do you want to do?
Point.
Guntir, you're on deck.
While she's distracted, I'm just going to... Oh, ho, you're approaching me, take one step forward, and then use Dimension Door to get to the other side of the terrace.
Okay.
Come as close as you'd like.
Just getting as far away as I can get.
So,
it's within 500 feet, but I'm just gonna basically get to the other side of the battlefield, like away from everything.
With that,
away from her.
With 500 feet, you could get out onto the actual terrace if you would like.
I don't want to abandon my friends. No. I'm just gonna get to like the entrance to this area on the southern part of that map that you were.
So for those of you looking at the map, Heinrich begins off the map to the north and suddenly steps through this portal. You can see this glyph appear and turn sideways and suddenly part. And as you step through, you appear on the other side of the battlefield. You could be anywhere that you want in this battlefield. So you are in that doorway, the opposite doorway?
Yeah, I think tactically speaking, it's just better if I'm far away but still able to see Kindscale. These other dudes are blinded, so I don't really give a shit. They don't even know I'm here because I just...
You just appear on the other side. No problem. Well done. Anything else?
I think that's kind of it for this round, just for the sake of it.
Guntir, what would you like to do?
Oh, by the way, that damage that you rolled against me, there was no way I could, aside from rolling a natural 20, hold on to that spell with concentration, right? Because the DC.
Oh, because of the damage. Yeah.
DC is like even with a natural 20, should I bother or should it just go?
With a natural 20, what would that bring the total to?
Oh, if it's still a total, then there's literally no way I can be 4
then
or whatever. So yeah, I just assumed, but I just wanted to double check that part. So light goes away, everyone's still blind.
Fair enough.
All right.
Guntir?
I'm gonna cast Preserve Life on myself.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get 50 points of HP back.
Okay, well done. So Guntir, you kind of caress yourself as you do, and there is this thunder that rolls somewhere up above you. You guys are not too terribly far from the sky anymore. And you feel Cord, his energy seep through you, the lightning itself sealing and searing the injuries back together. You could add however much health you are adding back.
All right, and then I think bonus action, I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay. So it's again a very similar motion. You go from rubbing to this one stop. Shield of Faith.
Oh, those cramps.
Anything else?
And I'm gonna move toward Kindscale once again.
Okay. You move.
Well, actually, wait. Does that provoke opportunity attacks from
I'm going to say that they're blind, so they
Nightmares?
don't know that you're walking away from them.
Okay.
Dummies.
This is like
I
as they're
will-
swinging and missing at you, you're just kind of duck and then move away.
Okay. I'm gonna do so.
Sure.
And move toward kind scale. Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of move away from them. Kind scale is like 10 feet away from you, so you can get to her very easily.
Okay. That is all I can do for this turn.
Okay. That is your turn. That brings us to Krodok. Krodok now taking 3 attacks against this. Actually, you're going to see Krodok back up about 10 feet. And suddenly, as he spins the spear and turns, the wings flapping, there's almost this unnatural gust of wind that propels him forwards. That is actually a hit. And then the second one, not so good. But first attack is going to pierce through, and that is going to be 11 points of piercing damage. For what it's worth, for the first time with this blow, you can see the wind up against the scales. You'd imagine a smaller creature would have been fired forwards. Kind scale doesn't move. That is Krodok's turn, but as a legendary action at the end of that, she has 2 left, she is going to make a... Yeah, she has people within range. Morwen, you moved away. Guntir is behind, so Guntir, she's going to make a tail attack against you. That is going to be an 18 to hit.
Ooh, that just hits.
Just
And I need
hits,
to-
so...
Shield of faith. Need to maintain my concentration.
You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, and my concentration is maintained. I think it's a Constitution. Yeah, that's a dirty 20. So.
Okay, you're fine. You maintain your concentration, but that hurts. The tail into you again.
How much was it? Sorry,
15 points of bludgeoning damage.
15. Okay.
That is her legendary action. That was the end of Guntir's turn. That was the end of Krodok's turn. That brings us to Helia. Helia in the water. She's going to stop, take a deep breath, and she's going to just use her turn to try to end this thing. You can see the light still shining from her eyes, and she grows frustrated, and I grow frustrated. That is her turn. That is going to bring us to these nightmares. So, the blue one, looking at you tottering away, actually, he would have gotten an opportunity attack, but I forgot that, so I'm going to let that slide. He rushes towards you. You could see this kind of glee in his eyes, even after being hurt. Not so fast. He's going to take 2 attacks.
I'm
First
pretty
one-
slow, actually.
First one's going to be a dirty 20.
Oh man.
Second one is going to be a 26. So
Yeah.
you are going
Alright.
to take...
Oh, that's a natural 20 for the first con save, and an 18 for the second.
Nice. You take 14 points of slashing damage. Carves twice, and then is going to hold the hand out directly in front of your face, and this bolt of lightning strikes forwards. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my god, that's natural 20.
Oh shit!
You take 9 points of lightning damage, halved to 4, and you are shoved back 15 feet away from him. That is going to push you into Kind Scale, who is going to get an attack of opportunity because she's not used her reaction
man.
yet.
Lord.
Oh man,
That is going to be an 18 to hit.
that's gonna hit.
Ugh.
11 points of slashing damage as she rakes into you. This is the back claw. She basically donkey kicks you.
Good thing I got that 50 health back.
Yeah, for sure. That is going to be her reaction from you getting pushed away by the blue one. That is the blue one's actions. The red and the white one, you can see them both swinging around, trying to hit you, unaware that you are no longer there. However, at the end of their turn, it's going to be a fail. So Helia rolled a 4, right? She used her action to try to end it, and she had the end of her turn. She rolled 2 4s. And then they each rolled a 5. So they're struggling. That is their turn. That brings us back to Kind Scale. She regained her legendary actions. She is going to... She's going.
Bye.
She's going to wheel around. Gunter, you're not there, so she's going to wheel around and look to you, Gunter, who are the closest person. And she is going to first, rear back and use her frightful presence. I need everybody, but I believe Heinrich, you are far enough away. Yeah, you're more than 120 feet away. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
At least it's
Morwen, you are immune to this, so you do not need to.
nice. 21.
21. The two of you are
21.
fine. You've
Fuck.
seen this happen before.
Ooh.
You've already been fighting with this dragon. You are not intimidated by it.
Gunter's just
However-
tanking it.
Well, that was the frightful presence. Now it's going to make a bite attack and 2 claw attacks.
Yeah, that's
So
probably where it's
first-
gonna end it.
The bite, that is going to be that's a 29 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit and
Um,
probably break my concentration.
almost
It's a
for sure.
19.
You are going to take 17 points of piercing
Oh, you
damage, as
saved
well as
it.
5 points of psychic
Oh.
damage.
Okay.
And then the 2 claws. First one is going to be only a 22 to hit,
That's okay.
and the second one is going to be much higher than that.
That's gonna hit.
Double ones for the first damage roll, so that is going to be 7 points of slashing damage from the first,
Oh,
and 12 points of slashing damage for the second.
when I'm down.
Ripping into you, and you guys watch as Gunter, the glorious platinum beard, suddenly spattered with his own blood as Gunter spirals and falls to the ground unconscious. That is her turn, however. So that is going to bring us to Morwen. You're up. Shae, you're on deck. Heinrich, you're in the hole. Morwen, you can see now Gunter lying on the ground, bleeding, motionless.
And I can't fucking get close to her. Because I can't do anything on my turn to not be scared, right? Or not
At the
be
end of your
frightened.
turn, you can make a save, yeah. And if you take
Okay.
actually, point in fact, if you take damage, you repeat that save. So go ahead and make a save right now.
Okay. What is it?
This is going to be a
Wisdom save, isn't it?
Constitution,
wisdom
right? Oh, wisdom?
fight for presence. One sec. Constitution.
Oh.
I'm still pretty scared.
Okay. Very frightened from this dragon.
Pretty damn scared.
So what are you doing?
Can I? I'm so sad. All right, I'm just gonna fucking attack one of the dragonborns if I can. One of the blind guys. I don't know what
Okay.
else to do, but I
So you
need to
close
contribute.
25 feet over to these blind dragonborn. You can see they're swinging around. The white one, get back here. And you can see the red one just kind of hiss, these 2 axes swinging at the air. Who are
right,
you
well,
attacking?
I'm gonna attack the white one that said get back here because I
Okay.
sure will. Okay.
Sure. Go ahead and make your
And
attack.
this is an advantage because they're
This is
blind.
at advantage for sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's do something, Morwen. Come on. Okay. Fuck you. It's a 17.
17. Well, that's with pus, correct? 17 misses, unfortunately.
Cool.
You've got big armor
cool,
on.
Cool, cool. I'll bust
Plate
it.
mail armor. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. Why not?
Advantage.
Not on the second one.
Okay.
17.
Miss with that one as well. The first one kind of strikes and slides in the middle. The second one, complete miss. But anything else?
I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna try to break this. Wait, was the first roll for my last turn, or is that the only time I can try to?
That was for your last turn.
At the end.
So at the end of this turn, yes, you may try.
Okay, I'm gonna do that now. 10.
No, unfortunately, still very frightened of this massive purple dragon that just
Whole
killed your
nother-
friend in front of you.
Whole other
Um,
level of scaredy-cat.
That is your turn. As a legendary action,
Oh no.
it is going to sweep at you with its tail, Morwen. How far back are you moving from it? Or sorry, no, you're at the Dragonborn. As a legendary action, it is going to turn and you watch the eyes narrow. It's going to make a perception check. And Heinrich, from across this entire room, you watch the neck sweep once and then suddenly revert back, and she is staring directly at you. That is her legendary action, however. that is going to bring us to Shae. What would you like to do?
Stillness of mind and the frightened condition. It's an action.
Okay. You take your action, you concentrate on the exercises that you've trained in for years. You've had these drilled into you. You can remember years ago, the first time that Era showed you these simple meditation exercises that would one day lead you to being able to do this. You've never done this before. And so for the first time, you put practice into effect, and you actually force this fear, you force this condition from yourself.
And then for the bonus action, I'm engaging haste.
Sure. So suddenly you take the shifting of the key that you were able to use to push that out of you, and you focus it inward again. And suddenly you feel a burst of power and energy, and time slows around you.
And then I want to get on top of the dragon again, if possible.
Yeah, make an acrobatics check. You're a monk.
You can probably jump like 50 feet in the air.
Now with haste.
Oh, that's a 28.
28, no problem. You feel it, and as time around, you crouch, and it's as if the world stops for just a moment. For all the rest of you, you see up, gone. All of a sudden, Shae, you are up above, and you're just gonna like settle on her.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about all I
Suddenly,
can
you
do.
watch Shae touches down on Kinescale's back between the two massive wings. Shae, you plant your feet between these bony ridges that protrude from the back. Anything else? There we go. At the end of your turn, for her legendary action, instead of using a tail attack, she's just going to try to shake you off.
Okay.
So go ahead and make a, we're going to say, make an acrobatics or athletics check.
Oh, acrobatics all the way. 24.
It's only a 19, and she rolled real low.
Oh
So,
my.
yeah, she rolled really low.
About size I can roll
She
now.
swings side to side, and you actually, without even using your arms, you shift your weight in the way that a practiced sailor might be aboard a deck. And it's as if Shae isn't moving, but you can see Kinescale thrashing around. Well done. That is your turn. That brings us to Heinrich. What would you like to do?
All right. Is there a way that I can get, like, just like start skirting the wall
Sure.
and then get within 60 feet of Guntir, basically?
1 sec. So you're going to skirt the wall and get within 60
Yeah.
feet of Guntir, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
I
You
don't
would
wanna,
need
like-
to you would need to approach probably by about 10, 20 feet to get to Guntir, to be within 60 feet.
Ugh, yeah, fuck it. I'll do that. So as far away from all of the physically threatening things and as close to Guntir as I can get. I'll kind of run like a
circle towards-
diagonal.
Sure, you run in a little bit of a diagonal and you head towards this. I keep forgetting. I want to call it a pagoda, but that's not what it is. A gazebo. You go towards this gazebo. You can see 4 asymmetrical sort of pillars that lead to what looks like almost, looking at it now, almost like an iron butterfly on the top. That presents as the dome, and you head in that direction. You get right up to where the one step is that goes up to the platform, and you are now within 55 feet of Guntir.
Okay, cool. First I'm gonna do, and this is not to confuse anyone, Eldritch Blast at Kinescale.
Okay.
Duh! Guntir's body. No, no. I'm shooting Kinescale, pushing her 10 feet away, all 3 beams, just because I hope that
Okay.
Morwen can start taking care, and someone else, Krotic, maybe start taking care of the nightmares.
Sure.
So attacking first. So that's a 28 for the first one.
28 hits.
Yeah. Second one misses with a 17. Does a 17 hit?
17 misses.
Yeah. And then another 28.
28 hits. Yeah, so roll
Two
damage for 2 of
hits.
them.
Okay. That's 18 total force damage pushing if I
Nice.
can. I'm assuming doesn't say size restriction on the Eldritch Invocation.
No,
so-
you can certainly do it.
Yeah,
So
push 10 feet, like kind of just putting her in a corner, attempting to.
It's difficult to do because you're pushing her up against a doorway that's too small to fit her.
Right.
Point being, though, because it is 5 feet, she is going to take 6 points force damage, max force damage,
Nice.
from colliding with the wall as you
Oh, right. 'cause
Every
she's
little
already
bit
there.
counts.
and she
Every little bit
slams into the wall.
Okay.
Shae, you have to actually grab onto the neck a little bit to stay on. It's a big impact.
Okay. And then the bonus action using 5 d6s at the range to heal Guntir.
Okay, so use 5d6s at the range to heal Guntir.
23 points of healing.
So Guntir,
Yay!
in this dark
Might be the same as last
space,
I just
this
blacked out
dark,
for a second.
warm space, suddenly
Very
you
familiar
flicker.
thing
There's
happening.
still, you hear like a poof, the ground shakes under you as Kind Scale collides with the wall, but you feel
Even
healing
like-
seep into you.
At this point, not even surprised, just like, yeah, I died again. It's just
Yeah. I'll just shout, "You're welcome."
ah.
I'm not going to do that.
Get
Drawing no
up,
attention.
man.
So
Drawing
that
no
is your
attention,
turn.
Yet you attacked her and pushed her.
Anything
to
else,
Guntir.
Heinrich? Heinrich, anything else?
No, that was everything. I don't have. I mean, that's bonus action, movement, and everything.
Guntir, as you
Action,
come
action,
to,
cool.
it is your turn.
Awesome. I am going to use my help action. Wait, crap! I can't do that yet.
What do you want to do?
How far away am I
From
Kind Scale? Everyone else is further away now
You're-
because I got pushed 15 feet into
Um,
Kind Scale, right?
yes, but then she got pushed 5 feet back, so technically there's 5 feet between the two of you.
Okay. I'm gonna do what I did last time. I'm gonna go ahead and use my channel divinity to give me another 50 points of heals.
Dang. Okay.
Self-regenerating dwarf.
And
Clerics, man.
then I'm going to,
Just alley-oops that.
I guess, bonus action second wind to give myself another D10 of
Okay. You watch as Guntir uses bonus action, just kind of sit there and you see the
Nice.
finger go up and he's just breathing heavy.
After like getting knocked to the ground, like
Okay, but
Guntir is
now
like
I'm
it's a squat and sit.
feeling
second one.
okay now.
Okay.
Not terrible. Not
That is your turn.
dead. Yeah, and then I guess that's it for me because I'm just tanking right now.
Sure. At this, you can see Krodok drop 5 feet in the air, and he holds out a hand to you, Guntir, and he says, "Guntir, grab on."
Like, ah!
Okay, so on your turn, we're going to finish this particular maneuver, but he's going to hold his action for a point. But your hand is like right within his hand. You imagine he's probably going to do something with it. That is his turn. It is Helia's turn. She is still blind.
Nice.
she's still in the pool too, right?
Yeah, so she's going to take 5 feet of movement.
Metaphorically blind as well.
5 feet of movement sideways, not towards anyone, because she can't see where she's going. And at the end of her turn, that is a 7. What was the DC for the blindness? That was
17.
17. Yeah, still blind. That brings us to the
Nice.
Dragonborn's turn. So this blue one, Guntir, takes the 5 feet between you. He swings the sword around behind him. You can see now, as he does, there are elements of the Priesthood of Thunder design to the hilt. But he swings it around and he says, "It's a shame that Cord won't get a chance to sort you out himself." And he hoists it up and he's going to take 2 attacks against you. First one is going to be a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Second one is going to be a 26 to hit. So
Yeah, that also hits.
I'm sorry.
Gunter's going through the ringer on this one.
Again.
I think I've
Again.
literally lost like 200
getting
something
back
damage.
all
At this
back
So
point.
each of those
Giant
attacks
boost.
is 1 d10. Or sorry, no, I rolled the wrong dice. There you go. That was going to be a lot of
it's-
damage.
It's actually 2 d20s.
Yeah, for a longsword. In total, between the two, you are taking 17 points of slashing damage between the two attacks. It's 7 and 10.
Jeez.
And he is going to use Aspect of Lightning. Go ahead and that's a natural 20.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead and make your dexterity saving throw.
Oh, it's got to be a natural. Yeah, that's a 12.
Okay. So you're getting pushed 15 feet into kind scale.
Oh, again.
You're also taking
Oh, this is the worst.
10
Chronic
points.
holding on.
You were taking 10 points of lightning damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
No. So actually, this is going to trigger what Krodok is doing. When danger comes, he's going to throw you.
Oh, okay.
He's going to yeet
I
the
figured
dwarf.
he was gonna
Eat the
throw
dwarf.
me.
Eat the dwarf.
Oh, God.
So I took 10 more points of damage for hitting into kind scale,
So
or for
point of
getting
fact,
pushed back by the lightning.
with Krodok helping you, you are not going to collide with kind scale. The grip is broken. He's not able to slide you the way that he wanted to, but you are not colliding with kind scale. You are taking the damage,
Okay.
which is 10 points of
Yeah.
lightning damage.
Lightning damage.
Yeah, but otherwise, you're okay. You are not moving. That
Okay.
is, however, going to take up what Krodok was trying to do. That is the blue one's turn. The red and the white one. You just stabbed the white one, so he's going to turn around and at disadvantage, blind, swing at you. Okay, Morwen, does a 21 hit?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are going to, man, you're going to take 5 points of slashing damage as it just nicks you. But that's enough so that all of a sudden this grin spreads across his face, and you can see he suddenly just goes, "Oh, finally!" And he holds a hand out, and I need you to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, please.
And don't forget about the save from fear because you took damage. Oh,
20, dirty 20.
You feel this ice grip you. You take 3 points of cold damage, but as the ice creeps across, you can feel fatigue begin to set in. You feel almost exhausted. But you look around, you can see Guntir bleeding badly. You can see just the condition of this battlefield, and the second surge of adrenaline comes through you. You are not taking a point of exhaustion, but you do take 3 points of cold damage. The red one,
Oh, can I
Scared.
try to break out of being scared cat?
yes, you may. The red one is also going to take a swing at you at disadvantage.
It's 2 natural ones on this goddamn freaking roll.
Unfortunate. You are getting hit again by this
Leave me
by the
alone.
red one. That
Okay.
is going to be a 20 to hit, which I believe hits.
Yeah.
You are going to take again only 5 points of slashing damage.
good lord.
Okay.
However, you can now see this one smile, the light shining out from the eyes. And she's going to go, "I will hold this one." Make a wisdom saving throw, please. You can see Morwen at your feet, fire begin to creep up.
That's an 18.
An 18. Fear grips you for a moment as these flames flicker. You do take... Oh, no, that's not a fail. You don't take any damage. You realize as this fire kind of crackles up, there's no heat. You do not fear this effect. You do not become paralyzed. That is going to be its
So-
turn.
Am I able to roll again for being hit to not be scared?
You don't take any damage from it, so you do not.
From the first one. No, I'm confusing it then. Never mind.
You are. You've taken your save, so you're okay for the moment.
Not be scared anymore, dude.
That is their turn. At the end of their turn, Kainska's going to use the last of her legendary abilities, and she's going to take a tail attack against you, Morwen. Because you're only 10 feet away, I believe. So that is going to be a 17 to hit.
No.
All right.
Leave me alone.
Underneath, as you see this cold grip and this fire begin to flicker, you kind of jump away and you miss the tail. That is her last legendary action. It is now Kindscale's turn. She gains her legendary actions back, and you can see again she's going to turn around and look for you, Heinrich. But seeing how far away you are within 60 feet. 30, she'll just use it. You watch as the mouth opens up, and as the reality begins to distort around the mouth, you can hear her say, directed towards you, Heinrich, "You can't run forever." And as the ever comes, the psychic energy bursts out. I need Guntir, Shae, Krodok, Helia, and all 3 of the Dragonborns to make Constitution saving throws. So the 3 Dragonborns are all going to fail. Helia is going to fail.
Somewhat reassuring.
Boy, this is actually not the best.
Oh, nice.
Well, good. I'm leading her on and pissing her off.
You're doing
When
good.
people become vulnerable.
You're doing good.
16.
Okay, so that's a failure. What was yours, Shae?
19.
19. That is also a failure. And then Morwen.
I'm rolling for a wisdom.
This is
Sorry, you
a
didn't call me out.
Constitution saving throw.
God. 11.
Oh boy. All those dice again.
Hold on. Was this the same spell thing as before, Joe?
It's not a spell.
Okay, so then never mind.
This is the replacement of a breath attack for her.
Gotcha. Okay, I figured. I just wanted to double check.
All of you who failed, which is all of you, that is 48
Even though
points
I'm
of
behind
psychic
her on her
damage.
back.
Cheese and
I'm sorry?
crackers.
I'm on her back. It still
This
counts?
is a 30-foot dome. Yes.
Okay.
I am
What was it?
looking bad once again.
48 points of damage.
Now
Psychic
we all
damage.
are.
It ripples across. Guntir, for you, for a brief moment, you can see this beautiful dwarven woman and another dwarven man beside her. Morwen, for a moment, you see this elf. You see Eowyn just slipping away from you. Shae, you very bizarrely seem to almost have your vision pull away, and you feel fire, and around you, you see for just a moment the monastery burn. But that is going to be her turn. That brings us to Morwen. You did take damage again, so go ahead and make your save.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Well, not thank God, but
48 points of damage, yeah.
fuck it. Okay. No, I'm still scared. Still
Still
scared as
scared.
hell. All right. I'm gonna at least just attack. I'm still next to the 2. dudes.
Oh, interesting point of fact. Right. So, give me one
Aw,
sec.
Come on.
Oh, because they're
No, this
they
is
got
not a
scared
bad
too,
thing
right?
for you.
Okay.
They failed. They're
Yeah, they did.
scared.
All 3 of them did. In fact, everyone pretty much did, right?
Yeah. So point of fact, from anybody who can see Helia, you watch as the light in her eyes and she drops unconscious in the water. And then you would see the red, white, and blue dragonborn, the 2 blind ones, kind of like cringe with agony. The blue one, you could see there's pain in his face, Guntir, but he just smiles through it at you. He is intent on you. That is Morwen, Shae, Kynes kill. So that was them taking damage. Cool. Morwen, you were attacking one of them.
One of them. I'll attack the white one again.
Go for it.
Wait, are they still blind?
They are still blind.
Alright.
Is everyone like close to dying right now?
Not doing great.
I'm hurting.
I haven't
pretty
really
bad.
been hit except for the first one yet.
Not
But
great.
Alright, so the
Not
I can't
great.
save everyone.
Not great.
Yeah.
so 26.
26 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. This is a sneak attack.
Thank God. I'm so glad I
he's
could do
blind.
something. Okay.
Worth noting too, he's not looking like great. That damage
Well,
from the
he's-
kind scale.
Drop him. Drop him.
Do
He's
it.
not gonna be feeling great after this either. Okay.
Drop him.
Shh. I need to count, dude. Okay, that's going to be a 33.
Okay. Jesus.
Nice.
This is
So-
why you're not afraid.
You swing. You can feel terror like emanating from Kind Scale. Dread rolls off of her like smog, and you like steel yourself for just an instant and swing straight forwards towards the white one. You pierce. The sort of dented iron, very clean but dented iron, scrapes. You hear metal tear as pus goes deep within. You hear within these sort of scales break apart. That's a tremendous amount of damage. You could see suddenly blood burst out. He's looking pretty rough.
Oh, he's not dead yet.
No.
Oh, you bastard. All right. Pop some.
Go for it.
For 13.
13 misses. You can see he staggers, takes a step backwards, and you swing wide, but he's hurting real bad. That was well done. At the end of your turn, Kindskill is going to make a tail attack against you. She's just kind of like swinging tail at you while she's striking at other people. This is going to be 19 to hit.
Yep.
Tail attack, tail attack, tail attack. You take 14 points of bludgeoning damage. That is her legendary action. That brings us to Shae. What would you like to do, Heinrich? You're on deck.
She's taken 5 hits. Or attempting to.
Okay. Go for it. So on top, as you kind of ride this huge burst of psychic damage ripping away at you, still in the periphery of your vision, you're seeing these sort of flickers of fire and the monastery, and you see for a moment almost like this bird spiraling out of the sky. What are you doing?
It's 25 to hit.
25 hits?
and
Yeah.
For Shiggles, she can make a Constitution save.
She sure can. Oh, maybe not.
Ah!
What is the DC on that con save?
17.
17. She rolled an 18.
Ah.
So close. You rolled real bad.
God
So
damn.
close.
So close. Okay. That's still 9 points of damage.
I would say, though, with that hit, you recognize it is possible to stun this creature. Not likely, but it is within the realm of possibility. The strike, you feel the key. Not quite flush. It doesn't quite connect the way you need it to, but you feel it there.
Sure. 27
27 hits.
for 11.
11 points of damage. Nice.
23
23 hits as well.
for 13.
Nice. Man, 13 damage with fists.
I swear I can math. 21.
21 hits as well.
10.
So with this onslaught on top, just striking, you take your elbow and you slam it into her head. You try to knock her out. You try to do some kind of damage, and it's hurting her. You can see now for the first time, you can feel the breath starting to come a little bit more ragged. She's starting to get hurt. That is your turn.
Was that 5 or was there one more? I feel like there was one more.
Sure, go ahead for it.
That's 24.
24 hits.
For 7.
So, with her legendary actions at the end of your turn,
That is.
with her legendary action, she's going to use the last 2 remaining actions to make a wing attack. Her wings, and I need you to make dexterity saving throw.
27.
27. You are okay. However, as this wind buffets you and elements.
28. I lied.
Okay. Never mind. You're a butterfly now. As this psychic wind buffets you, you can feel it tearing away at your thoughts. You still take 11 points of psychic damage, but you are not knocked prone. That is the legendary action, and then she's 10 feet up in the air. She's able to go half her flying speed. What is her flying speed? 40 feet. Heinrich. This creature turns, and she closes 10, 20, 40 feet before landing 20 feet in front of you. That is her
Does that
legendary action.
Provoke an attack of opportunity from me? I mean, it's a legendary action, so. But I was.
Yeah, it would, as long as you haven't used your reaction, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Go for it.
get
Do
like
it.
6 damage. Jumanji. Hold on.
No Jumanjis.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, that hits.
Nice. All right, that's gonna be 5. That's 6 damage. Just
6
as
damage.
intended.
So as
nice.
it goes forward, you,
Solid.
and you kind of just nick her a little bit, but every bit counts, and she sails overhead in front of Heinrich. But that is her legendary action as a result of Shae's. Shae, I do need you to make an athletics check because you still are holding on to her.
On top of the dexterity save?
Yes, the dexterity save was specifically for the wing attack because she's now shifting 40 feet. You have to hold on.
Athletics or acrobatics?
For this, I'm going to say athletics. You can't really backflip your way to stay on a dragon.
That's fine. I'm still proficient. 24.
24. No problem. You surf this dragon as it takes off and then lands. You take like 3 steps forward to keep your momentum, but stay atop the dragon. No problem. That brings us to Heinrich. Guntir, you are on deck.
Okay.
This
So-
dragon now 20 feet in front of you.
Yeah, and then I can still see the blue ones sparring with Guntir, the blue dragonborn.
Well, not so much
With her in
sparring
front,
as
yes.
being
I think probably they would have partial cover, but yeah, you can see him.
All right.
What are you
I'm gonna
doing?
use my first time ever. What's it called? Mystic Arcanum.
Okay.
To at 60-foot range, use Mental Prison on him. He needs
Nice.
to make an intelligence saving throw. I've been trying to pick out which one is the least intelligent. I don't think it's him, but we'll find out.
So on kind scale and intelligence saving throw?
Not kind scale, no.
Which one?
On the blue dragonborn that's
Okay.
fucking with Guntir.
Blue
pestering
dragonborn. Okay.
to the point of second death.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, second death of
What is it,
this
DC on
combat.
17.
He fails.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Rolled a 13.
Okay.
That
All right.
literally could make or break it for me.
Okay, so immediately, that's 5d10 psychic damage. So that's 6.
Damn. Hey, it's the same amount of damage that Guntir did to that monk that you guys almost questioned successfully.
Yeah. That's 22 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And then there's
Interesting note.
more. Okay.
Psychic damage. You
Sure.
watch it kind of across,
Mhm.
and as it does, you can see this is the blue dragonborn, right?
Yeah.
The element that you can see on the armor that is made up of these kind of shed purple scales seem to glow brighter. The damage seems to not do as much as you would like.
That's fine because still. Hold on, what does it say?
How much damage was that? Sorry.
So halved, if it's halved, is 11. It's 22 full.
Sure.
And it immediately perceives its surrounding like space as terrifying to whatever it fears the most, and is
Okay.
considered restrained. And if it moves outside or attacks through, then other stuff happens. So
Oh, boy.
basically, thinks that it can't move away because it'll touch whatever or fall off of or whatever. This
So-
thing that
Person's
it's most
ungrateful.
afraid of.
You watch all of a sudden the eyes, this kind of smile and the kind of it's like a smoker's cough, and stops suddenly, and the eyes grow wide, and you could see suddenly kind of like takes a step back, and you can see
Is
he
that-
just goes, how did you get here? And you can see the eyes kind of focused on this point. There's nothing there, but
Yeah.
to him, you could see there's something that seems to be almost approaching. He draws back a step.
As long as he doesn't move through, because he's restrained, obviously.
No,
Yeah.
right, but you know, it's like for flavor, takes a step back.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Stormcaller, just these eyes now large, afraid of whatever this is.
Cool.
Well done.
Cool. I'm gonna just yell to Guntir, shove him, and then just start running back like this way, to like away from the gazebo towards like the entrance kind of area.
Okay, sure. So you take your full movement 5 times.
I'm like wide arc, wide arc to put more distance between Scale and myself.
Wide arc, you get right to that doorway. No problem.
Okay.
Where should I shove him?
Just shove him. Just shove him.
That is your turn.
Don't be a smart ass.
She doesn't have any legendary actions. Guntir, what do you want to do?
I guess I'm shoving him.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Should it be like a shove attack?
I mean, that's what it is. A shove attack is competing athletics checks.
Oh. Okay. That's a 17.
Okay, so as you yell, shove him, you can see he's like frightened, looking around for a second. You hear him say, Stormcaller? What are you doing here? And then you go over and you shove him. As he's kind of taking that one step back, you sort of take your leg and just plant it right in front, and he topples backwards. He lands prone on his back. He doesn't look at you. His eye is still focused on that point that he was looking at.
Well,
all right.
Point in fact, actually, for this thing, when he moves out of the immediate 5 feet that he is restrained in, which is the point of shoving him, he immediately takes 10d10 psychic damage and the spell ends.
Damn.
Oh!
Okay. So you're not,
That's why you
point
shove
in fact, you're not shoving him prone, you're pushing him back.
I'm pushing him, yeah.
You shove him forwards, and as he does, you watch as it looks as if the air suddenly becomes like this stretchy, almost saran wrap that grips around, and these little runes start to, where the plastic seems to pull, they begin to appear, and suddenly it shatters like glass. Go ahead and roll damage on that. It's a great combo.
Uh, 65 psychic damage.
Nice.
Obviously halved.
So as it doesn't matter even actually how. So as this plastic stretches and then shatters into glass, Guntir, you see and actually hear from these 2 ear holes as the eardrums pop and blood just runs down as the eyes roll back and he falls on his back dead. Damn.
I thought
that was a lot of damage.
I was hoping that was going to work.
Half that was what? That was 32?
Yeah. So 68. No, wait. What did I say? 60, 65 half to whatever. Yeah. 32, 33, depending on round up, round down.
That's 3. You were 3 points over 0 there.
Nice.
Well done. Awesome. So yeah, Blue Dragonborn dead on the ground in front of you. You can see just kind of twitching Guntir at your feet. The last thing that you hear come from the mouth is, at least you can get him. And the hand just drops back, pointing at you. But he's dead. That is your turn, Guntir. What else are you doing?
Could I also, I suppose, bonus action? No, I'm going to go Shield of Faith again.
Okay, you duck down. The shield bursts out behind you and around you. That is your turn now?
Yes.
All right. Krodek, who you can see, I mean, there's blood coming out of both of his ears. He's hurt from that damage, that psychic wave that last struck. But he's going to go ahead and make his attacks. It's a miss, that's a hit, and that's a hit. So the spear punctures twice. 6, 14 points of piercing damage. Again and again, you can see Krodek with the spear strike the neck, going between, Shae, from your vantage point, you can see striking between these plates that jut out protectively along the spine. You can actually see he is digging in, trying to get to the bone of the spine itself. She's starting to look hurt. You can feel the breaths coming raspy. You can actually feel the body shudder with each step. She is starting to look pretty hurt. That is going to be Guntir, your turn, Krodik's turn. Helia is unconscious. She's going to make a death saving throw. Okay. It is the red and white dragonborn's turn. Or sorry, the red and
Yeah.
Yep, red
Just-
and white.
Who got
Red and white.
killed?
the red
Why?
Oh
one.
my god, the Dragonborns are
Merca.
the American flag. Sorry.
Or
Nightmares.
French.
Or basically any
Dragonborn.
Or
flag.
like a number of other
There's a lot of symbology
Yeah,
in it.
Just
Just-
America. Just America.
The red dragonborn at disadvantage rolled a natural 20 and then a dirty 20 on you, Morwen. So that is going to be a hit, I believe. Morwen, you are going to take 12 points of slashing damage.
See ya.
Are you unconscious?
Yeah.
You guys watch as this red dragonborn with these two axes is just wildly swinging. One of them catches Morwen underneath the ribs, and you watch as Morwen drops to the ground unconscious. The white dragonborn also still flailing around. Morwen, a 17 doesn't hit, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Still swinging wildly around. Doesn't hit your falling body.
Does it
Which is
trip on my fallen body?
doesn't hit your
I'm just
falling
kidding.
body. So that's very good.
Yeah.
However, at the end of their turns, you can see as Morwen drops, suddenly the white dragonborn, who is hurt, the eyes back into focus. The red dragonborn still blind. That is their turn. That brings us to Kindscale. She regains her legendary actions. She sweeps her head around. I'm going to say the wings flap. I need Shae. You need to make a wisdom saving throw. Krodik is also going to need to make a wisdom saving throw. Krodik makes his wisdom save. Look at you. Go.
Nice.
Good job,
Krodik.
Karadic. 23.
23. Easily. You shed the fear that comes from being around such a powerful, awe-inspiring creature. But you can hear off, and she flings with all of the force that she can manage. So, rolling at disadvantage because you are on her back, that is a natural 20 and a 28. The 28, I'm assuming, hits.
Yes.
That's rough. That is going to be... Okay, so you're only taking 9 points of slashing damage as the scales and the bony plates kind of rub up against you, cutting into your thigh. However, I do need you to make a... this is going to be a strength saving throw.
That's 21.
You get thrown off and down. You land on your feet. You're a monk, no problem. But you are no longer on her back.
Okay.
And then for her second attack, in front of her is Heinrich. You ran away. Guntir's.
Leading her around is trying.
Pretty close.
She's going to take her movement. Actually, no. She's just going to turn and hit you, Shae. That is 2 claw attacks. The first one is going to be a 25.
Yep.
And the second one is going to be a 23.
Yep.
The first one is going to be 16 points of slashing damage.
I'm down.
The second one is going to be 13 points of slashing damage, so you can mark off a death failure. That is her turn. That brings us to Morwen. Make a death saving throw, please.
I don't even remember what this is.
Just a D10 or D20.
That's a failure.
One failure. Shae, go ahead and make a death saving throw, please.
$18.
You can mark off one success. Heinrich, it is your turn. Guntir, you are on deck.
Okay, saw Morwen go down, so my immediate reaction was the 3 remaining D6 of healing light on her.
Okay, so as Morwen spirals down, even as the eyes flutter shut, you can feel this healing energy leave your hand. How much does it do?
That's 13 points of healing.
Even before you hit the ground, Morwen, you are about to strike and your eyes shoot open just so that you get to experience hitting the ground. But you are prone and conscious with 13 points of health.
13.
And then more out of defense, honestly. Last spell slot, synaptic static against 20-foot sphere, the 2 dragonborns right next to her, not including her.
Okay, sure. What kind of save is that? Yeah.
It's an intelligence save, so start rolling my damage.
Okay. One of them rolled a natural 20. They succeeded.
Okay.
That's the red one, but they're still blind.
Yep.
The other one rolled a 13, so...
Okay, that fails.
Okay.
Okay. So that just 2 more. Oh. 32 or half if they succeeded.
They did not. So Guntir, you watch the blue one before. You saw the eyes roll back, like the eardrum
No, blue one's
puncture.
dead.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
All of a sudden, like 6 seconds go by. There's swinging. You could see Morwen drop, and then suddenly gasp as she comes back. And then in that same span, you look over, and the white one, the eyes roll back, blood spurts out, and he drops dead.
Snaps
Like
to
you're
the
watching,
right.
you're watching Heinrich like just look at people, and their brain is exploding, and they are dropping down.
I read a lot of
Back
books,
to
guys.
life.
Guys, I read a lot of books.
This is why you got to read.
Yeah, big brain time. So the other one still takes half of that, so whatever shit. What
Okay.
was the number?
30 something.
36, I said? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so 36.
Okay. You can see the red one like grunt. There's a little bit of blood that begins pouring out of the right ear. You can see her grip loosen on one of the axes, but she's still up.
Okay. And I'm just going to kind of continue this circuitous kind of thing. I'll kind of like interpose if I can myself between the red one and Morwen. If there's enough running room for or not running, but like, you know, jogging room for that.
You can't quite get there, but you get closer to Morwen. You can kind of move around, and you would get so that you really can't block Morwen from where you are going around her like that. But you
That's fine.
you get in that direction. That is your turn. At the end of your turn, she's going to use a legendary action. Guntir, you're up, right?
Yeah, just barely.
Guntir and Morwen, each of you roll a d20 for me.
Ooh.
18.
14.
Guntir. She's going to take a tail attack against you. That is going to be a 29 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
27 to hit. But that is going to be...
Stay up. Just
17 points of bludgeoning damage
dang.
as the tail swings around right into the chest.
Not up.
And Guntir drops unconscious. Finger gang dropping like flies here. That is her legendary action at the end of
Dang, that legendary
Heinrich's
action
turn.
destroyed
Guntir,
it.
make a death saving throw, please.
That was the worst time for all of the things. That's an 18.
18. You can mark off a success. Necrotic. At this point, lands, drops, grabs your body, Guntir,
Oh my boy.
and he's going to haul you 15 feet back. That does provoke an attack of opportunity on him from kind scale,
God,
which is a 22 to hit. He's kind of hurt. Takes 13 points of slashing damage. As he pulls you away, Guntir, you can't see this because you're unconscious, but everybody else, you see this scrape across these huge talons of kind scale digging into the bare chest, shredding the flesh. You see flaps of skin. Krog's looking real bad. That being said, yeah.
Did he stabilize me or just pull me away?
Just pull you away.
Okay.
That is Krodik's turn. That brings us to Helia. That is one
Forgot
more
about
success.
Took her out first round.
She's a rogue. I mean, she doesn't have a ton of health. That brings us to the lone remaining nightmare. This red nightmare, blind, hurt, just swinging wildly. Guntir and Morwen, go ahead and roll a d20 for me. Try and make this fair.
It's a 7.
Oh, mine's a 6.
Morwen. It is blind, so does a 14 hit? Swinging wildly, ha, ha, and just cannot seem to find you. That is its turn. That brings us to Kind Scale. She regains her legendary abilities. She's tracking you now, Heinrich. But looking down, she is pretty smart. She is going to take her first attack, this claw attack against you, Shae. Wait, no, sorry. Morwen just came back conscious, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
I'm
So
still
at
down.
Morwen. Yeah, at Morwen. That is a natural 20.
Oh my god.
Sick.
Ooh. You were going to take 27 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, I'm out.
So as you
Where is
open your
Kind
eyes,
Scale
you
right now?
collapse.
Because I thought
Kind
I'm so
Scale's tail is a 15-foot reach. So that's how she's getting Guntir.
okay.
So you are back down. She's then going to take her movement to wheel around. She's going to take her full movement to go towards you, Heinrich. She gets 40 feet of movement, so she closes to within 5 feet of you. Now looming over. And she's going to take her second claw attack as she ends with her momentum. That is also a natural 20. Literally, you can see, right?
Yeah. I believe you.
I just don't have any way of showing because we're not in person. So that is going to be 9, 10. That is 23 points of slashing damage. As she rakes across, and then she is going
Hellish
to.
rebuke.
Okay, go for it. She's also taking her bite.
Okay, this is 22 points of fire damage.
22 points of fire damage. Nice.
Pulling out literally every stop.
So as that slash rakes across and you feel like elements of the armor almost giving away underneath the onslaught of this assault, you feel this anger well up within you and it ripples back. You can see now for the first time, now that you're this close, and because it bears an eerie resemblance to you, you can see the one crackling purple eye, but just within this one socket, every now and then purple energy out of it, you can see this glow. Blue. Pale, but bright. You recognize it as the same as Aurelian's star. But you see blood beginning to run down. She is looking hurt. However, the bite attack is going to be 22 to hit.
Yeah.
And that is going to be 14 points of piercing damage, as well as 5 points of psychic damage. And that is her turn. That brings us to Morwen. Make a death saving throw, please.
It's an 11.
That's a success. Shae, make a death saving throw for me, please.
It's also an 11.
That's a success.
There we go.
Heinrich. What do you want?
Save. No.
Attacking, pushing back. Just classic Eldritch Blast.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, first one is 23 to hit. And that's 15.
15 points of damage.
Fucking hell, that one misses. And then last one is 18.
18 just misses. You see it strike the purple scales and disperse.
Okay. But it's pushing
The
back
first one
10
that does
feet.
hit, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
10 feet away, you can actually see that one that hits strikes right in the chest. You can see elements that were already damaged. The scales actually flake away. And for the first time, you're seeing exposed flesh and even elements of maybe a bone protruding through. That's a good shot, and she's looking hurt. That is your turn.
Well, I'm just putting more space between, I guess.
Sure,
Or,
yeah.
hold on a second. So, in my mind, this is a open area we're in with
Correct.
sky and stuff. Okay, so there's
Oh,
no
no,
like.
well, not sky. It's a very, very high ceiling.
Oh, okay.
Directly out of the door, like that's right behind you. There's actually, you can see to the sort of clouds that are in the real sky above.
Okay. Probably not worth bringing her out to the sky. It's too advantageous. Okay. Yeah, I'll just back up full 30.
So you can back up out of the. You
I don't
would
want to
actually.
leave. No, I
Okay.
don't want to leave the room just because then it gives her time to fly, and that's just not.
So you only back up 10 feet, and you're in the actual doorway.
No. It was still within the room. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm staying within the room.
you are
I'm not
within
trying
the
to
room,
leave.
but the doorway is directly behind you. If you're going to move back at all, because you're already pretty close to the door.
Well, then I'll just move within the room 30 feet, a different direction.
Okay, sure. You go past the door and then like away
Yeah.
from Kindskill.
Yeah, exactly.
No
Pushing
problem,
her
no
back
problem.
10 while I'm moving
So wait,
30
not
the
necessarily
opposite.
just backing up.
Basically,
I gotcha.
yeah, getting whatever the 55 feet of distance between, just in case that matters at all. Which I don't think it does.
As a legendary action, as you begin, no, it's at the end of your turn, so you've already moved. So actually, she's not going to do that. That is actually for a legendary action. She's going to use detect. So, who is currently unconscious? Show of hands. Okay. You can see a smile curl across the hurt lip, blood running between the teeth. She is hurt, but she surveys this battlefield. She sees Krodek and Heinrich. But that is her legendary action. Guntir, make a death saving throw, please.
18 again.
18, that's a success. It is Krodek's turn. Looking at all of you, Krodek is going to go to you, Shae. Yeah, no problem. 30 feet of movement, gets to you, kneels down, and he is going to make a medicine check to attempt to stabilize you.
Oh, lovely.
No problem. You don't feel anything. You are unconscious. You are in this cold, dark place. But Krodek begins to work. You are now stabilized.
Yay!
That is Krodek's turn. Helia is going to make a death saving throw. That's a fail. It's 2 failures, 1 success for anybody keeping track at home. It is this Red Nightmare's turn. She, like, steel with these 2 axes, swings, unaware that there is literally nobody to strike around her. And so she is just going to be swinging, but at the end of her turn... What is the save on this blindness?
17.
That's a 16. So, still blind, swinging wildly and just shouting now. Does anybody speak Draconic?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so you don't know what she's saying. That brings us to Kindskill. The eyes track you, Heinrich, but then turning and watching Krodek stabilizing Shae. Kindskill takes off at a run, closing the distance 40 feet, and is going to make a claw attack. That is going to hit a claw attack. That is going to miss, and then a bite attack, which is also going to miss. So 1 claw attack on Krodek, but that's still not great news for him. 10 points. Oh, Krodek. So as he slashes in, you can see Krodek stumble forwards away from you, Shae. He is hurt. You can see sinking to one knee, one eye shut, blood caked into the feathers of this Aarakocra's face, but he is still up, just barely. That brings us to this Helia's death saving throw.
dead.
That brings us back to this nightmare. She can't hit anything. Her saving throw is finally a 19. So all of a sudden the light fades out. You could see she looks around. The smile is replaced by a scowl as she sees the corpses of her two brethren by her. But that is her turn. That brings us to Kindscale.
Wait, Kindscale went?
Oh, sorry. Wait.
Fact? Yeah. She just went and then Kindscale went because she's at the end of the order.
Yes, so Morwen, go ahead and make a death saving throw.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, why are you taking all my
I'm
dice?
prepping
not
for my
dead
turn.
yet, dude.
I'm prepping for my turn.
That's a 2.
That's a failure. That's 2 fails.
No, it's 1 fail and
Oh,
1
1 fail and 1 success. Okay, great. Much better. Shae, you are stabilized. You're
stable.
fine. Heinrich, what would you like to do?
3 Eldritch Blasts.
Okay.
And we're gonna say, are you keeping that check for the Red Dragonborn? I guess I'll just not do anything with that information.
Sure.
Alright, we got 3 hits. That's a 19 plus 9, 28,
Yep.
21,
Yep.
and a 22.
Those all hit.
And then the dice roll at the same time for the damage. For a total of, that's 27 damage, force damage.
So the first one fires past. You can see it strikes home. It hits right into the back of Kindscale and from the front as she attacks Krodok, who is like on death's door. You can see she stumbles forwards. The second one hits again, and you can see scales on the back shred away. You can see ribs. And as the third one approaches, Heinrich, tell us how it happens.
Holy
Oh,
fuck, are
come
you
on.
fucking kidding me? Holy fucking kidding me. So
Not
she's
that
not.
anyone can see this happening. But come on.
So
She
hold
had,
on.
she had 13 health left.
Oh!
Thank you for your dice. Thank you for your dice. So the angle of the last one, she's not facing me because she chased after Krodok.
Correct.
So I'm gonna say it threads through her ribs and then up throat and then out the like Aurelian star eye, if that makes sense from the angle of just like spear kind of through.
So the first one
Does that work?
shatters it the other way. The second one kind of goes by. The third one, you can see it goes through, and for a second, Heinrich, you think you miss. This bolt disappears into the wound, but from the other side, from Krodok kneeling down, his perspective, suddenly the dead eye with the small blue glow glows brighter and brighter, and the head seems to just bursts forwards. Krodok spattered with brain matter, bone, and blood. But Kindscale,
I imagine a side profile too of like silhouette black and then just red background. And then just like,
And-
one of those very anime moments.
yeah, as this happens, you can see and feel for all of you, anybody who is affected by fear, that ends.
Everyone is affected by
It's
being
just me and
dead.
Krodok who are afraid naturally.
And this is across a much wider sphere than just this room. You sense the dread that has been ambient in this air begin to die down and fade. You can sense this sort of forbidding sensation that since she made her presence known has taken you guys again. You feel it all die down and go away. For anybody who is sort of charmed or otherwise taken in by her, that spell seems to break. And I would say because they are the closest, not because they're the closest, because they're the only people up. Heinrich, you see shifting over this red dragonborn suddenly just shake her head and look around. For a moment, you begin to hear shouting from out down below in the Ring of Gold. There's a lot of confusion. This red dragonborn looks down at these two axes and up at all of you and down towards her fallen sort of allies, you would imagine. But she looks around. Did I drink again? And you can see bodies strewn across this entire place. You see Morwen, Guntir, Shae all down. You see Krodok kneeling, dripping off of the feathers, just Kindscale's brains blood and gore. You would actually see like an eyeball, this big like softball slice down, but he blinks. There's some emotional damage that happened there.
Yeah.
Heinrich, you look over. Helia's dead. You can see face down in the water, not breathing. She failed all of her death saves. But at this moment, it seems whatever spell bound these nightmares has ended. You sense palpable relief, not just here, but in the Ring of Gold and perhaps all of Kulturam below. Taking all of the time into effect. Okay. You feel this moment for the very first time since entering into the Undercity, since entering into the North. You have felt this dread since leaving the Lorebinder Academy. And for the very first time, you feel as if you can breathe. You can actually take oxygen into your lungs and expand them to the fullest without this ever-present anxiety and dread clinging to your body. But Guntir, Morwen, and Shae are also all down, and so that does sort of leap into your mind.
Oh,
However,
immediately rushing over to start using Spare the Dying on anyone.
and that is where we'll start next week, because it is midnight, and you did defeat Kindscale.
Oh!
like I think I had, and that's because I didn't get attacked a lot, but like 31 health left, so if she attacked me at all, that would have been...
Yeah, you literally had her down to 13 points.
Over 300
13 points of
damage.
health right there.
From that. I took 368-ish damage.
Yeah.
God.
I
You're a
died
tank.
twice.
You're a good
So-
tank with low AC.
My AC is crap
For
now.
all of you who joined in, thank you so much for hanging out with us and following along in our D&D campaign, which is super cool. We've been playing for more than a year and a half, and Kindscale has been the focus for months. And she's
Wow.
dead. And so
Oh,
when we are back, I believe next Friday. Yes,
Mhm.
we're back next
I
Friday.
need to unpack a lot of stuff.
A lot of unpacking that needs to be done, but it would seem that the Kindscale arc has drawn to a rather
It's
abrupt
the
end.
wrap-up episode.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Mhm.
like the arc
It's an
doesn't end
unexpected
until
end.
there's
This
like
is
the
the
wrap-up.
wrap-up episode. Come
Yeah.
on.
You
It's like, this is what happens after.
will see what that means, because that changes a lot.
Yeah.
Well done. And you guys, just so you know, there was sort of like a ticking clock. You guys made it within 10 minutes of the time that you really needed to make it by. To not have immediately another kind of pillar of
Extra
scales
stuff.
kind of
Situation.
yeah,
Okay.
huge
50-50.
huge success. That yeah.
50-50 on the pillars.
Whew. Yeah, well done. Well, so far.
So far, it's
That
we're
we
not
know.
out of the woods yet. We're sort of yeah.
We survived another week.
And we will see you next one.
We will see you next week. Until then, please stay safe. It is absolutely crazy out there. And we'll see you next week. Have a good night.
Bye.